his name. I don't want to say his name.
Arturs Shilov.
So it's Shilov and Pickard in the round 2, game 4, the most important game of the series thus far. Pickard doesn't have to be better than Shilov, but he has to be better than what Skinner has been as of late. He's got to make... There's going to be a time in this game where Calvin Pickard's going to have to make a save. And something that looks like, okay, that's a grade A scoring chance. He's somehow got to steal one from the Vancouver Canucks. If he does that, the Oilers can win this hockey game.
All right, so that's storyline number 1. Storyline number 2, Carson Soucy's been very effective for Vancouver.
Very good.
He's a good defenseman.
Yep.
And he's a player, if you recall, Rob, 2 years ago, we talked at the deadline.
He's a guy they should go get, or a guy that...
Either him or Kulak.
Yep.
Right? And in the end, they ended up getting Kulak, and then they re-signed Kulak, and now, ironically enough, guess who's getting paid the exact same cap hit as Kulak? Carson Soucy.
Soucy's good. He's a player that teams, if they have them in their lineup, they want to play against Connor and Leon because he's so big.
Yeah, he's rangy.
And
so... Talk to us about, first of all, was it the right call, the one game suspension?
Yeah, one game suspension. I didn't think it'd be more than that. I thought what Pietrangelo did last year was worse, and he only got one game, so I didn't think he'd get more than one. But yes, it probably looked worse than it was, but it's still, the way it looked, it deserved a one-game suspension.
Yeah, there's no question. Is there any carryover on that for tonight's game?
There's not. Not tonight. There will be next year.
Yeah.
At some point, Vancouver, and Soucy will answer the bell.
Sure he will.
He's a pro's pro. He understood what he did, and at some point, he will drop his gloves with one or two players that challenge him in a game next year. But no, you don't look for anything tonight. The others just got to be more physical. And I said with you earlier today, and I talked with Reed, the Vancouver Canucks have huge defensemen, but up front, they're a smaller team. Garland, Pedersen, JT Miller, Besser, Höglander when he's in, Niels Ahmann, Linus Karlsson. These are all guys that the Oilers haven't been physical enough on.
Right.
And we've seen the abuse that Leon and Connor and Hyman and Nuge have all taken up front by the big defense of the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah. The Oilers' defense have to be more physical. They just have to be.
What do you think of the flip of the pairings? We're going to see Darnell Nurse and Vincent Desharnais, and we're going to see Brett Kulak with Cody Ceci.
I've played on teams where things got a little stale, so you just flip a line, just for no other reason but to give a little bit of a reset, just for a little wake-up call. And I think that's what you're doing right there. You look up at the board, you see your name in a different spot, and it's kind of a spark. Okay, I'm going to go out there here. I'm going to start talking, because now you're going to start talking to your D partner. Here's what we got to do. On the bench, you're a little more active. You're a little more into it because there's not that familiarity that you would have had with your regular partner. I think it's the right move. I think Darnell and Ceci have not been as good as they're capable of being.
No question.
So let's see if we can mix it up a bit and find, because right now they're down 2-1 in a series. They're the team that needs to adapt.
Connor and Leon are split up to start this game. Real opportunity for Holloway. You and me have been calling for this all playoffs.
Oh, I've been calling it for 2 years. He's a top 6 forward. That's why they drafted him. What an opportunity is for him. Right last game, the Vancouver Canucks had to hold their breath when Connor and Leon were on the ice. They did not have to hold their breath any other time. There was no one else scaring the puck into the net for the Edmonton Oilers. Tonight, especially with Soucy not being in the lineup, you've got two lines that can go out there and score, driven by two of the best players in the world. So I think it's the right move. And you have the ability to put Leon and Connor together anytime you want for a shift here, their end of periods after penalties. But yes, I think this is the right move. But what the Oilers need, and I know that a lot of people say they need more to their depth scoring. Well, first of all, let's look at, they need more out of Kane and Nugent Hopkins and Fogle.
It starts there.
That's where it starts. It doesn't start with your fourth line, Janmark and Ryan. It starts with...
Those guys have been fine.
They've been good. Their third line has been too quiet, and so have guys on the second line. The Edmonton Oilers, but they got to come out in the first period, and they've got to be the physical team. Don't let an Elias Lindholm, who's been fantastic, but don't let him be the guy dictating.
I would challenge Lindholm tonight, and I have the player to challenge him, and that's Nugent Hopkins. I mean, Lindholm landed a huge shot on Matthias Ekholm. Right, and
that set the tone for the game.
It did, and the Oilers were on their heels, and it just seems like Edmonton's been... Rick Tocchet has had this, and we've talked about this, Rob. They missed the playoffs 7 out of 8 years.
Yep.
They weren't on any... They had good enough teams to make it a couple of those years, and they crashed out, right? One year they had the issue with the COVID and the vaccine, and so they had underperformed. That team was ready to be led, and Rick Tocchet has leadership abilities, and he got it through to a guy like Dakota Joshua and got him committed and got him all in. and they play a style befitting of a guy that was a great power forward.
They've taken on his personality, and the one thing that Dockett can do is he can talk to your fighting. Why? Because he fought. He can talk to the goal scorer. Why? Because he scored goals. He could talk to the physical player. Why? Because he could do that too. Dockett was the consummate professional power forward. He did it all. His players play like him. He demands from them, but he can demand from them because he's been there before and he's done it. The Edmonton Oilers, what they need to do, they need to match the desperation and the urgency that the Vancouver Canucks have thrown at them through the first 3 games. They need to go back to Vancouver tied 2-2, and they can't start in the second period in that to try climbing that hill. This has to start on the drop of the puck. If I'm the Edmonton Oilers, puck gets dropped, you dump it in to a corner, a slow dump, and you send forwards in, and there's got to be a big hit. People don't realize scoring goals are exciting, but when you throw a big hit in a playoff hockey game, this place goes nuts. So that's what the Oilers got to do. If I'm the coach, I'm telling you, first shift, run someone over.
All right, that's the Ford Keys to the Game, brought to you by Ford, the official partner of your Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. The Boston Bruins, Rob, they're trying to hold on. They're up 2-1, trying to extend the series. It's about, I don't know how much time is left.
2 minutes. 2 minutes to go in the game. They've pulled their goaltender. It was a controversial goal. I thought it was going to be disallowed.
Me too, especially after what
happened the other night.
I couldn't believe that goal counted for
Bennett the other night. I couldn't believe the one counted tonight. I am like 0 for 100 right now in predicting goals right now. So if we can't figure it out, I mean, the coaches are getting it wrong. So there's something wrong with the way the rules are.
Don Sweeney now wants the referees to be accountable to the media. Can you believe that? I mean, we have a situation in this series where both organizations, Stuart Skinner was not made available a couple nights ago. The Canucks used that as an opportunity not to have Zadorov talk yesterday. Of course, he talked today, and he was good. He likes talking. He likes talking. He was funny today.
Well, he would if he was wearing Edmonton Oilers.
You'd love him.
Oh God, he's one of he'd be your favorite player. But this is I mean, this place is going to be rocking tonight. The Edmonton Oilers have a chance to come out and do something special. And I like what Craig McTavish said. He said, if you're not scoring, do something else. Be noticed. Do something in a positive manner to make your team a better team. And if that means hitting someone, that means fighting, that means blocking a shot, whatever it takes. Because you know what? Through 3 games, the Vancouver Canucks have done that.
They've been committed.
Yep.
The Edmonton Oilers have not matched the requisite energy level, the passion and commitment that the Vancouver Canucks have showed so far in the series, in my opinion.
The Oilers have a more skilled team, and they got the 2 best players in the world. They got the best line, best power play. But the Vancouver Canucks are ahead because all the intangibles. They're the ones that are laying out in front of shots, laying in front of a Bouchard shot, diving to tip pucks out, throwing the first check in a hockey game. This Canuck team understands what it has to do to win. It's been very good. But the Edmonton Oilers have a chance tonight to tie it up. If they play like they did in the final 40 minutes from the very drop of the puck, then the outcome could and should be different. But Calvin Pickard, a big moment for him tonight.
He's got to make stops.
Yep, he does.
He doesn't have to be awesome, we think.
If I'm the Vancouver Canucks, I'm shooting from everywhere early on him. It's been a while since Calvin Pickard has been in a game, and practice ain't the same.
Well, he got 3. Hey, what are you talking about? He got 3 shots.
It's funny. In my texting group, I texted that he wouldn't get a shot in the 3rd period. I missed by 3.
There you go. The Edmonton Oilers are about, that's Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, end of the roll, first, second intermission coming. The Edmonton Oilers are about to take the ice, led by Calvin Pickard against Artur Shilovs. Just what we all thought back when the season started on October 11th. It's Game 4, Round 2. The Oilers looking to even the series against the Vancouver Canucks. The Edmonton Oilers have hit the ice right here, right now. Game 4 action coming up next. Jack Michaels with the call. On 40ers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling Jingle auditions take 1 for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready.
Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge.
That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice, guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV. Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinal on deck. It's Jack Michaels alongside Bob Stauffer from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The Vancouver Canucks lead the series 2-1. And the biggest change for Edmonton, as we get a look at our Coventry starting lineups, is, of course, Calvin Pickard, the 32-year-old journeyman goalie, in net tonight to start for the Edmonton Oilers. Up front, it'll be Connor McDavid, reunited with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Defensively, Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers, offering you flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs. Let's go to Robert Clark.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love. In all of us command.
Tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast.
There he shoots and scores.
Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
The Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks, 2 nights after an unlikely Vancouver victory where the Oilers fired 45 shots, the most they've ever taken in a playoff loss within a 60-minute game. And yet it was Vancouver 4, Edmonton 3 when the night was over, despite the fact the Oilers only permitted 18 shots, which was the second fewest ever in a playoff loss in the history of the Edmonton Oilers. But now, 48 hours later, none of that matters. Pickard against Shelovs, just like it was Game 2 of last year's first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. Only this time, it's the Western Conference semifinal. It'll be Connor McDavid taking the face-off against Elias Lindholm, and we're underway. The puck dropped in Game 4, and McDavid wins the opening face-off, fired in by Evan Bouchard. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. A blast by Ekholm left point starts the game, and that shot skitters wide off the end boards and is taken ultimately by Ekholm back at his own blue line. Up to center, and he'll hustle it in deep. Ekholm was not on the ice this morning, but able to go tonight for Game 4. He wasn't the only man not on the ice. Leon Draisaitl in practice, but he's ready to go tonight. Here's Nugent-Hopkins redirected just wide by Connor McDavid off a Vancouver turnover. And the Oilers have something brewing in the Canucks zone. Zach Hyman on the left half boards, gives to McDavid. Ekholm right circle, shoots, and a blocker save made by Shelovs. Rebound bounced away from McDavid, but not Hyman, whose shot is repelled by Shelovs. Quinn Hughes twists it off the glass and out. And Bob, that shift looked very reminiscent of the same kind of shift turned in time and again by McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. Only this time it was McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman with the different line combinations tonight.
Need to keep the push and the pace here. You're Edmonton.
Holloway and Kane are Draisaitl's wingers tonight, and Holloway will send it in deep and gets right in on Tyler Myers, who tonight will not be paired with Carson Soucy. Instead, it's Myers and Cole. Soucy suspended for the cross-check after Game 3. Draisaitl on his backhand takes it behind the Vancouver net and protects up top near the Vancouver bench. Myers finally rubbed him out. The puck squirted free, and it's a clear for Pius Suter back to center ice. The Edmonton Oilers in the blue and orange with white trim. Vancouver in the white with blue and green. Brock Besser had 2 goals and an assist with a mishandle in the neutral zone to start Game 4. Niels Oman up the left-hand side. Kane a big hit and a finishing job on Zadorov, who was fined $5,000 while Soucy was suspended, matching cross-checks of McDavid, and now a puck deflects out of play in the Edmonton zone. Calvin Pickard, 32 years of age. This his first Stanley Cup playoff start. It's not unheard of. I mean, as recently as 2 years ago, Antti Raanta started a game for Carolina. It was his first start at the age of 32. But Bob, certainly if we talked at the preseason and I said, you know, Bob, I think Calvin Pickard's going to play in the playoffs for the Oilers, you would have looked at me like you usually do. A mixture of bemusement and rage. Off the draw. Here's an opening and a flip down low by Noah Juleson, making his second playoff appearance for Vancouver with the Soucy suspension. Pettersson tried a short side pass out to Zadorov. His shot deflected up off the plexi and handled by Derek Ryan, who's on a line with Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark to start Game 4. Canucks control the puck in their own zone. Juleson whips it through the middle, and it's sent in by Pettersson. Juleson in his 7th year as a National Hockey Leaguer, and a little change for the Oilers on the back end with Nurse playing alongside Desharnais and Kulak and Ceci, Bob.
Yep. We'll see how that changes things up. Obviously, Nurse and Ceci have had a tough playoff so far.
Desharnais angles a pass out to center. Immediately swept back in by Linus Karlsson, who tonight is on a 4th line with Oman and Teddy Bluger for Vancouver. Long shot from the point, and there's Pickard's first chance. He handles it flawlessly against Philip Roenick. Loose puck behind the Edmonton net. A fierce battle won by McLeod. Up to Fogle, did not get it out. Sprinting onto the ice and maintaining. And a good job, but ultimately a hard hit. And he got belted down low as Dakota Joshua, and perhaps a bit overzealous. I think this is a penalty on Edmonton here.
It is. Nurse is going to get cross-checking. They talked to the 2 teams about a cross-checking standard. Nurse took a pretty iffy one in game number 3 that led to a turning point in that game. Edmonton had a lot of momentum going at 3-2. Nurse finishes his check, but he pushed through and extended. Rick Tocchet talked about that today. Point of emphasis for the officials. Canucks get an early power play.
Time 3:32. Nurse in the box. The penalty that Bob's referring to, and no question. I mean, Nurse blasting Joshua from behind. Lindholm scored a second goal of the game on the ensuing power play. That made it 4-2, and that loomed large when Bouchard's late shot glanced off who else but Ian Cole and into the net. Off the draw, Quinn Hughes will collect for Vancouver. Canuck power play heated up with 2 goals in Game 3. Hughes to JT Miller, and he misfired there. Vancouver in the series 3 for 9 on the man advantage. Edmonton chisels it free. It's Desharnais up to Derek Ryan, and he'll clear down the ice. Ryan, Nugent-Hopkins, Ekholm, and Desharnais will come off the ice, replaced by Ceci, Kulak, Fogle, and Ryan McLeod. Canucks right to left in this first period of play. A bouncing puck. JT Miller with a turnover, and then Fogle will chip it back into the Vancouver zone. And Pettersson caught him with a glancing blow. Kind of a subtle interference play to slow down a potential 2-on-1 shorthanded.
Thought Fogle could have maybe sold that.
Here's JT Miller into the zone. Hung up with Fogle, who jabs it back to center, and Hughes will have to kick it back to Pettersson for a reset for Vancouver. Halfway through the Snap Auto Parts penalty kill. Edmonton very good on the kill in the playoffs. 18 for 21, but all three of those goals surrendered against Vancouver in this series. Another clear, though, coming out of the corner. And good work by Edmonton with a length of the ice delivery by Connor Brown. Shelovs has to paddle it up the left-hand side. It's played back to the on-rushing Connor Garland, and here come the Canucks. Garland to Dakota Joshua as a pair of three-point games in this postseason. We'll give it up to Roenick, and now Garland swooping top of the left circle, looking, shooting, and a blocker save made by Pickard. Rebound in front, and Joshua failed to uncork. Pickard, a very active blocker. Here's Garland, left circle, fires again. Pickard the save. The rebound cleared. Back to Roenick. Confidence-building stops for Calvin Pickard, who has not started a game in 3 weeks. Here's a shot by Suter, and that was smothered. Garland on the rebound. Has control of the puck. Waiting, dishing, quick chance, save Pickard. Rebound, kick to Garland. Right circle. He'll move it into the corner. Zadorov doesn't know where to go. Finally flicks it to the middle, swatted away from Hughes Suter, who's back on the puck. Zadorov, weak shot, gobbled up and cleared by Vinny Desharnais, and the Edmonton penalty is over. Calvin Pickard, what do you need to survive the Vancouver power play, Bob? Who has to be your best guy?
Your goalie.
Lead pass, Ekholm to McDavid. That's off target, and it turns into an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. Pickard's last start, I said 3 weeks. That's being it's almost 4 weeks. His last start was the Arizona game in Game 81. And Bob, that was a weird atmosphere. The Coyotes were playing their last ever game, as it turned out, in the state of Arizona. And Pickard lost that game, and there was not much on the line for Edmonton because the division title had already been decided.
Once Edmonton lost at home to Vancouver without Connor McDavid here that night, the Oilers kind of limped home in the final 5 games of the regular season.
Off the draw, Draisaitl with Hyman and McDavid 5-on-5. Draisaitl cuts left, gives it up. McDavid circling the net, dishing. Bouchard a shot, a save. Shelovs, big rebound, but it flew out of play into about the 6th row to the right of Archer Shelovs. We played a little more than 6 minutes. Edmonton has wiped out a Vancouver power play, and a good chance for Evan Bouchard, stopped by the 23-year-old rookie Latvian goaltender, Archer Shelovs. This is Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Canucks lead the series 2-1. The Oilers looking to get it even. Right now, we're in a scoreless tie. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Draisaitl between Kane and Holloway. It's Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth.
Just walked down the circle, had a little conversation with Zadorov.
He's playing with Desharnais, a face-off win for Draisaitl, and here's Nurse. Hard hit on Zadorov, laying the lumber to Draisaitl. A shot by Desharnais does not make its way through, and a clear by the Canucks up the left-hand side. Twisted by Pius Suter in the general direction of Brock Besser, trying to finish his hit on Darnell Nurse. Desharnais swiftly up to Draisaitl, backhands it ahead for Dylan Holloway playing right wing. Told me this morning he can hardly remember playing right wing at all, maybe in some Hockey Canada tournaments. Shot by Suter, redirected off the blocker of Pickard to the corner, and the Oilers look to move it up the ice left to right. Draisaitl hustles it to center ice. Bouchard hits the line. Tried to let a wrist shot fly, but was stripped, and Quinn Hughes will toss it back to center. Were you surprised at all that Chris Knobloch went to Calvin Pickard tonight for Game 4?
Nope. Not at all. He's been solid all year when he's been in there.
I was a little surprised, and not because Calvin Pickard hasn't been solid. He has. Here's Ekholm, lead pass right-hand side. McDavid dropped it off for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, chopped away by Dakota Joshua. Here's McDavid, slithering through traffic, and a clear by the Canucks up to Dakota Joshua, and he'll muster it down low to Sam Lafferty. He was checked to the ice, pops back up in the high slot, tried to shovel it down low. But as you noted, Calvin Pickard played a lot this year. It's not like he was used sparingly down the stretch. And it did occur to me, as the Oilers prepared for the 2-month run, that we'd probably see Pickard once or twice, as dictated by the workload we saw in the regular season. Bouchard up the middle. It was not like last year, where it seemed like Skinner needed to play every game down the stretch as the Oilers in vain tried to catch Vegas for the division title.
Broken skate for Foegele. He's got to get off the ice here.
Ilya Mikheyev in from the left-hand side. He'll gain the line for Vancouver and get it down low. Canucks in a scoreless tie. Linus Karlsson hesitated, and he paid for it. This just his 6th NHL game. Janmark with the steal. Corey Perry denied entry by Mikheyev, and it's forced back. Perry demonstrative this morning, saying, hey, there's more that Edmonton can do. It's not just about shots on goal. He felt like there were more second and third chances to be had if you can get inside the dots on a more frequent basis. The Canucks dump it in to the Oilers' zone. Desharnais to Nurse up the middle of the ice, and from the logo, it's shot in by Connor Brown. Sheloffs will hand off, and it's quickly advanced through to Niels Oman. On the rush, it's Connor Garland. Tried to move it to the inside for Bluger. That was broken up. Held in by Juleson. Now a dish and a chance. Bluger set up Oman, but he was a little too deferential as he tried to scoop it over to Zadorov, who now comes back into his own zone to handle that deflected puck. Long toss by Juleson on target, and here's a chance. And Miller shot it off Pickard and off the side of the net. The rebound grab by Draisaitl on a feed from Bouchard. Left to right, he's over the line. Play barely onside. Kane to Bouchard. Kane left circle, and he passed on a shot that seemed to be there. Ekholm with a turnover and a clear. Second clearing attempt. Cole did not get it done. Holloway steals. Draisaitl to the middle of the ice. Eventually flash free. Shot Ekholm redirected right to Ian Cole. And Cole with another turnover. He has really struggled in this series. Back-to-back turnovers by Ian Cole. Shot by Draisaitl. Pinballs wide. Cole with a third chance to clear. And this time he does, but it's too late. Miller had already taken a penalty on Leon Draisaitl. And I'm going to assess blame there on Ian Cole. Miller's going to be charged with the interference call, but Cole had 2 chances to get the puck out, and the veteran, who's playing for his 8th team in his 14th NHL campaign, did not get the job done.
Yeah, Carson Soucy out of the lineup, and that means that Cole's going to have to play more critical moments. And the Oilers' power play, well, it's been pretty good in the playoffs so far. Number 1 in the league at 46.4%. Vancouver's penalty killing 6th in the league at 80%. And you have the in-series numbers.
Yeah, Edmonton in this series, 4 for 8. Leon Draisaitl who was second in the league in power play goals during the regular season after leading the NHL with 32 back in 2023. Well, he's had 5 in the postseason. That leads all playoff power play scorers. Zach Hyman is next up with 4. They're out there with McDavid, Bouchard, and Nugent Hopkins. It's your Atco Energy power play quintet and a face-off to Shelov's right-hand side. Vancouver was very good against Nashville. 20 for 22, better than 90%, but of course only 50% in this series.
But they got 2 huge kills in the third period, Jack, on Sunday night.
And that helped preserve that 4-2 lead just long enough. Bouchard got one late, and both he and McDavid had looks in the final half minute. Off the draw, guided to Bouchard by McDavid. Here's Bouchard to Connor McDavid, centers, and a bouncing puck eventually grabbed by Nugent Hopkins. McDavid did not have a point in more than 29 minutes on Sunday night. Draisaitl right circle. First time he was held off the score sheet in this Stanley Cup playoffs. McDavid back to Draisaitl, one-timer, and that might have clipped Shelov's on its way off the glass and out of play. 9:38 to go in the first period. No score. The shots are even at 3 apiece, and 1:34 remains in the interference minor to JT Miller, who was none too happy with Leon Draisaitl. Felt that Draisaitl sold that call, and the Oilers on the power play here now with a face-off to Shelov's left.
Miller has been dominant in the circle. He's at 59% of the playoffs and over 60% in the series.
Bluger wins this draw. Myers will turn and slam it off the left-hand boards and chase Edmonton back. Soucy suspended for tonight's game. Now, he had averaged the 5th most minutes in the first 3 games of the series amongst the Vancouver D, and that's testament to what Bob has talked about all year long about the rebuilt defense. Miscommunication between Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins on the left-hand side, and the puck ends up traveling the length of the ice already halfway through the power play. Nugent Hopkins against Pettersson to the on-rushing Connor McDavid. You know he wants a bounce-back performance. Off to Draisaitl. Wasn't happy with his Game 1 effort. Came back with a goal and 3 assists in Game 2. McDavid to Bouchard. Back to McDavid. Top of the circles. Draisaitl one-timer and score. 1-0 Edmonton. Power play goal. Leon Draisaitl set up by McDavid. They're on the board. So are the Oilers. It's 1-0 in Game 4.
Well, that's right in the kill zone for Leon Draisaitl. We have seen the Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid hops into the middle of the ice and then swings it back short side, and Draisaitl rips one past Shelov's. 1-0 Edmonton.
Draisaitl has had a point in all 9 of Edmonton's games in this postseason. The time, 11:10. He has 19 points, McDavid 18. And the two are atop the league in that category to no one's surprise. Vancouver fails to convert an early power play. Edmonton buries it. And the Oilers are on top in Game 4.
Look at how passive this forecheck is for Vancouver, Jack.
Now, having said that, Bob, the team that scored the first goal in this series has lost all 3 games. Nurse will give it up, and it's sent in deep by Connor Brown. Calling for the puck from Myanmar. Tried to reverse it down low in the corner, and here comes JT Miller up through center. Hughes, a little give and go. Came back to him. They'll spin, top of the right circle. Bouchard, by the way, is 3rd in the league in scoring in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And no, not amongst defensemen, amongst everybody. Shot by Hughes, high slot. That was blocked. And it's steered out of the zone rather routinely by Janmark. Hughes to settle for Vancouver as we go inside 8 minutes to play in period 1. Hughes a strike to Pettersson left wing. A shot steered aside by Pickard, who gave the Oilers a couple of early saves on that Vancouver power play. McLeod dangerously close to interference against Juleson. Freed up for Zadorov, and he takes a pop from Evander Kane. Those two have been going at it all series long. Up to center and sent in deep by Sam Lafferty. Pettersson late getting there. and the Oilers will clear with ease. Perry to Ceci up the right-hand side off a Kulak stick, and now Kane takes the door off against the boards again. Ceci wins a battle in the corner. Kane to Corey Perry, tried to cut inside. Puck pinballed around. Eventually Bouchard able to snatch it. Dishes off. Shot! And that just missed. Ryan McLeod, an absolute sinner. Now a second opportunity perhaps, only to see it stolen by Juleson. He'll hoist it down the middle. That'll be nudged wide, and it turns into an icing call against the Canucks. 6:57 to play in the first period. Draisaitl's power play goal for McDavid and Bouchard, and that's now 11 out of 12 goals in this series, scored by one of Edmonton's so-called top five. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Bouchard, Ekholm.
Cody Ceci's the only man.
Correct.
And at that point, you're thinking the Oilers were in good shape in game number one.
And if you go back to the last 7 playoff games, it's now 20 out of 23. With Evander Kane's 2 goals, the only exceptions besides the CC one you mentioned. Off the draw, driven down low by Ekholm. Bouchard will step up in the right corner and free it up behind the net. Zach Hyman hovering from the left side. He'll give it up for Ekholm from the point. Shot does not make it through. 6.5 to go. Knocked down to one knee is McDavid. Pops back up. Ekholm and Bouchard double teamed up top, and Bouchard forced to give ground at center ice. McDavid takes it back in. He got belted by Zadorov. The puck squirts free. Bouchard is open left circle. Waits. Doesn't shoot it. Gives it up for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Button hooks. Ekholm one-timer just wide. Rebound. McDavid on the puck. Dishes off. Ekholm. One-timer. Bouchard and a save. Sheloves. And he'll squeeze it with 6:10 remaining in the first period. Edmonton 1. Vancouver no score. Sheloves labors to get up. He'll be okay. The Oilers have a lead in Game 4, looking to tie this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal at 2 games apiece. It's live from Rogers Place, downtown Edmonton, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run. Or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains. So you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
6:10 to go first period. Edmonton 1, Vancouver no score. Face-off coming to the right side of Sheloves. Oilers connected on a power play. These two separated by 1 goal in each of the first 3 games. In fact, Edmonton's played 5 straight, Vancouver 7 straight. In this Stanley Cup postseason, no surprise. When you get to the final 8, the margins are slim. Nurse, set up by Draisaitl, doesn't get a shot through, tries again. This one pushed wide. Rebound comes off the boards. Battling free, Joshua failed to clear. Desharnais to Nurse, again looking for a lane, and now we've got a potential penalty coming against Edmonton. Evander Kane felled, I believe, Zadorov, and Dakota Joshua having a conversation with him. Excuse me, it was Myers who went down. Kane checking on him.
Question, is it 4? Is it 2? We'll have to wait here.
Myers skates off. Those two played in Winnipeg together.
Number 91's got a double minor for high sticking.
Double minor. So Vancouver, having just surrendered a power play goal, now goes to a 4-minute power play. And Kane did bring the hands up when Myers came over to shadow him in front of the net.
You can't, if you're Edmonton, you have puck possession in their zone. You cannot take that penalty.
So Vancouver gets a 4-minute power play here with 5:48 to go in the first period. And the Oilers had not given up a shot on goal in about 12 minutes. Yeah. Shots are 6-3 Edmonton. The good news is it's a face-off win for Derek Ryan on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Ryan thinks he might have broken his stick, so he'll change. Nugent Hopkins and McLeod are out there right now for Edmonton. Desharnais and Ekholm. Sent in deep for JT Miller. Top of the circle, Elias Lindholm, who, like Besser, scored twice in Vancouver's win on Sunday. McLeod with a chance to clear, locates Nugent Hopkins, and it's drilled length of the ice. Sheloff's the hand for Hughes. Skitters his way to center, then kicks it back to Elias Pettersson. He'll shoot it in from the blue line. Puck batted around, Nurse. Toss back, Quinn Hughes. Fed to Pettersson. Lindholm. Hughes. Shot. Missed. I'm not sure Pickard saw it, but it sailed wide. Miller swept it around to Pettersson on the right half boards. Down low for Brock Besser. Besser came into this game tied with Draisaitl with 7 goals, but now Draisaitl's at 8. One behind Hyman. Nurse shorthanded. Hits the end mark. Left circle. Denied by Sheloffs on a wrist shot shorthanded. And that would have certainly elevated the pulse of the 18,347, who nevertheless rise in unison as we're down to 2.5 minutes on the Vancouver power play. Again, the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill has been excellent in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sent down low. Hard hit on Dakota Joshua. Stripped from Suter. A chance to clear, but Roenick is able to hold the zone. He still does not have a point in this series after having a career-high 48 in the regular season. Ekholm will chase Vancouver back. Roenick darting through the middle, but it's 1-on-4. Nowhere to move the puck. Nugent Hopkins the steal, the length of the ice clear. And there's a case where Roenick's pressing, and he doesn't need to. He didn't have any help. Canucks clamber back into their own zone with 1:50 to go in the man advantage. This could be a huge momentum swing. Hughes on to Besser. Now cross ice Miller. Tough pass handled by Lindholm. He'll wrap it around the boards for Miller. With 3:20 on the game clock, Hughes steps up. Hits hard. Tarek Perry shucked the puck free and sent it down the ice. Excellent read by Derek Ryan. Elias Pettersson back in his own zone. Weaving his way across the line. Brock Besser took too long. Deflected pass by McLeod and hammered down the ice by Ekholm. Bouncing puck corralled. Fogle sees Sheloffs move it over to the right-hand side for Lindholm. He gives way to Connor Garland. And the Canucks in the midst of a change with 2:50 to go in the first period and a minute remaining on this Canuck power play. Miller to Hughes over the line. Left circle, down low. Garland denied by Pickard. Still loose in the blue paint. And Pickard's got it. Desharnais with an extra shot on Joshua. And now goes after the diminutive Connor Garland. And then when Joshua tries to get back in the fray, Desharnais kind of going full scarecrow, using that pterodactyl-like reach to neutralize both Garland and Joshua in one fell swoop. 50 seconds left of the Canucks power play. Still 1-0 Edmonton with 2.5 to go in the first period.
Well, Derek Ryan just had a great sequence defensively. And the Oilers battling and selling out in front of Calvin Pickard. Right side draw. Ryan out here against the Canucks second unit. Hughes, though, getting an extended look.
Face off coming to the right side of goaltender Calvin Pickard. Hughes to Connor Garland. Spins left circle. Hughes. Up top pressure from Ryan. Put it across. Rodick. Put it to the middle. Deflected and cleared down the ice by Nugent Hopkins. And the Canucks will have time for one last rush, and that's all. On this power play, Bob, one shot in 3.5 minutes thus far. Quinn Hughes in over the line. Joshua, pressure, clear, Fogle, down the ice. That'll pretty much do it. McLeod with speed, ties up Rodick in the corner. Coming away with the puck will be Vancouver's Connor Garland. He lost the handle as he hit the Edmonton line. Brushed over to Bouchard by Ekholm. Now McLeod takes a pop at center ice. It's flung back in by Garland. But the Canucks have seen the Oilers wipe out their power play with just one shot against. 90 seconds to go in the period, and all the momentum is Edmonton's. Now McDavid back on the ice, hits Hyman right wing, cross ice, and just missing. Matthias Ekholm had it go off the heel of a stick, off the rush. Miller tried to pitchfork it out. Draisaitl with a turnover, 2-on-1 Vancouver. Brock Besser, Draisaitl got back. Hard fought, lifted the stick, forced it loose, and now Zadorov struggles to even get a shot away against Zach Hyman. Put it back behind the net. Cycle disrupted by Ekholm. Hyman slides down low. Takes a pop from Bluger, and the puck trapped along the boards with a minute to go in this first period. Oilers lead it 1-0. Ian Cole shot, and that ricocheted off Ekholm directly to Connor McDavid. On to Hyman, left wing. He'll pull it out wide against Tyler Myers. Tried to stuff it to the inside, and that was negated. Whipped up the boards, where McDavid makes a little spin move coming off the half wall. Tried to shovel it across to Draisaitl. Came out to Kulak. His shot redirected. Draisaitl's got it on his backhand. Looking for a teammate with a half minute to go in the period. Draisaitl had scored on the power play to make it 1-0. Here he turns it over, and Teddy Bluger eventually will shoot it in. Calvin Pickard not able to get a puck touch there in the corner. Ceci fends off a checker and moved it up the right-hand side. Forced back in by Zadorov. 10 seconds to go. Kulak a clear off the left-hand glass, and it sails out of play with 8.6 remaining in this first period. And the Oilers, despite being shorthanded for 6 minutes, have limited the Canucks to just 4 shots. And we've seen this before. I mean, first of all, Vancouver has averaged the fewest shots to begin a postseason through 9 games in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs going back to 1960. Secondly, the Oilers limited the Canucks to only 5 shots in the first period of both games 1 and 2.
RNH's got to win a draw here. 8.6 seconds left, and he's battling low 40% in the face-off circle so far in the playoffs, Jack. He's up against Pettersson, who's not a killer himself in the circle.
Flanked by Joshua and Garland. And now Nugent Hopkins set to dig in here. Pettersson won the draw. Ceci played it to the corner for Kulak, and time should run out here. Nugent Hopkins a clear down the middle. Shilovs will stop it, and that'll be all, as a hard-fought first period ultimately belongs to Edmonton, with the only goal being Leon Draisaitl's 8th of the postseason. He's the leading point getter amongst all playoff scorers, and now he's second only to his teammate Hyman with 8 goals. Hyman has 9. Time of that goal was 11:10 on the power play, and the Oilers lead after the opening 20 minutes, having choked out the Vancouver offense. 8 shots for the Oilers, a paltry 4 for the Canucks. And remember, they had 3 power play opportunities. Here's Brendan Escott with Zach Hyman.
Yeah, just extinguishing the shot attempts, as Jack was just saying there. Zach, what allowed for the team to get off to a better start here in this 4th game?
I think we just built off last game. Just played with pace, played fast, and fantastic penalty kill there at the end there.
How do you maintain this level of intensity against a team you know is going to push back hard over the next 40 minutes?
We have no choice. We just got to keep playing.
Zach, thanks.
Yeah.
Guys?
Well, that was succinct.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think bottom line is, Bob, you have to look at that opening 20 as a pretty good, I don't even want to say bounce back, because you look at game 3 and the Oilers did a lot of things right. The one thing I will say is that the special teams battle for the most part, all Vancouver can hope to do is saw it off. And that's what I would say you'd probably say about any of the Oilers' opponents at this stage, because their power play and penalty kill numbers are so far ahead of the rest of the field. The only thing you'd like to see if you're an Edmonton partisan is the 5-on-5 play, which has been not necessarily dominated by Vancouver at all, but in terms of getting on the score sheet, you'd like to see one of the other lines break through.
100%. We've talked about this, Jack, really.
Ad nauseum.
Like since Game 4 in Los Angeles. You know, like you're sitting there looking at that. It was a 1-0 game in which Edmonton was territorially outplayed, but they did a good job of boxing LA a bit. LA's the antithesis of this team that we see from Vancouver. LA is a high shot volume team from the outside. The Canucks want to create A-grade scoring opportunities. Rick talked today in the media availability about holding on to the puck longer and creating some better looks offensively. And so maybe the degree of difficulty is higher. But a solid first period from Edmonton, especially given the double minor to Kane. Lost some momentum there in terms of Kane taking the double minor in the offensive zone, but maybe gained some back with how good the kill was.
And the crowd reacting. I mean, that helps keep the crowd in the game.
Edmonton's just got to keep the game in front of them and not run around. But when you get the opportunity to pound somebody. Vincent Desharnais has got his ugly on. They've gotten Elias Pettersson twice so far in this game, where they've belted him, and both times in the regular season, those might have been penalties. But this playoff hockey, this is no...
Well, I thought even the nurse hit on Pettersson in Game 2 could have been called a penalty, the first shot.
100%, and we're the Oilers broadcasters saying that because there's been missed calls the other way.
But it's important if there's going to be shots given the other way.
You got to...
Yeah.
The Oilers, in my opinion, other than that nurse hit, have been too soft on Vancouver's top players. That has to change. It was a good start for Edmonton. Stay out of the box here and see what happens in period number 2.
He's Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. 20 minutes complete at Rogers Place. This is Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinal. On deck, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown. As we have hit the first intermission, Leon Draisaitl, power play goal to give the Oilers a lead in Game 4 as Edmonton looks to tie the series. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a one-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit skysignaturesuites.com for details.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
McDavid to Bouchard. Back to McDavid, top of the circles. Tries on a one-timer, score. Edmonton, power play goal, Leon Draisaitl, set up by McDavid. They're on the board. So are the Oilers. It's 1-0 in Game 4.
And that is the score after the first period. Leon Draisaitl taking you into the highlight zone, courtesy Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. And special teams vital in that period, Rob Brown, though I do think the Oilers played pretty well 5-on-5. But we'll start with the special teams. The Oilers 1 for 1 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill, including the 4-minute kill near the end of the period.
Yeah, the Oilers power play continues to excel, and the LA Kings couldn't figure it out. The Vancouver Canucks had 2 very good kills at the end of Game 3, but gave up 2 in that game and then gave up the 1 tonight. The teams just can't figure it out. Connor McDavid is the best power play player in the history of the National Hockey League. And when you got Leon Draisaitl, who can score from any position on his offside there, it's just so hard to defend. Connor had 3 different Canucks chasing him, trying to get sticks in lanes. But when Connor starts moving, he's trying to find the passing lane. So all the sticks are they're in the proper lane. Eventually, Connor McDavid skates to a better spot, and then Leon's wide open. And Sheloff got across. I believe it hit him in the head and bounced in. It's just so hard for a goalie. His whole focus is on Connor McDavid, and now it's on and off the stick of Leon Draisaitl. Big goal there. Then the penalty kill. I can tell you from experience, when I was on the power play, and you got nothing going, it's frustrating. And it bleeds into the rest of your game, because that's where you know you're supposed to make your money. That's where you, when you're in a tough series, in a one-goal series, your power play's got to get you goals. And the offensive players of the Vancouver Canucks, especially their first unit, they didn't even scare the Oilers with their power play. The second unit with Connor Garland was much better, and there was a couple big saves by Pickard. But the Oilers were fantastic on the specialty teams. The only thing that you do not like about that first period is it's only 1-0. Because this is a game that the Edmonton Oilers, most of the action, and for you and I, was to our right, is the Oilers dominated.
8-4 the shots on goal in favor of the Oilers, and you got to stay out of the box too. Now, we know cross-checking is, there's lobbying in the media. Tocchet's talked about it. He said Hyman should have got
and he probably should have
suspended for
he cross-checked him, cut him open
as part of that scrum. And Nurse hits Joshua up high. I already know what probably some fans are saying. Well, the ref down low didn't call it, and the guy at center did.
No,
well,
that's why you have two refs.
He's supposed to call it.
That's why you got two of them.
And then clearly, Kane's. I know you want to get after Zadorov or Myers or whoever. I think it was Myers that he cross-checked. He hit Zadorov cleanly hard a couple times, but you can't. And that kills a forecheck.
Well, what it did,
a lot of things.
I know the Oilers killed it off. But the Vancouver Canucks, and I think Jack said at that point, had gone 12 minutes without a shot on net. Everything was going the Oilers' way. The Oilers had the Canucks running around on that shift. Leon had the puck on his stick about to go towards the net. And as much as it was a fantastic kill, and it was, but that was 4 minutes where Connor and Leon didn't get to go on the ice. That's 4 minutes where the Edmonton Oilers didn't get to create offensive chances on the forecheck. That was an easy call for the referee. That was as blatant as can be. He went in. Think about it. He's cross-checking Myers in the face. Myers is 6'7". So for him to cross-check him in the face, your arms have to be extended up high. So great kill, but I think that was one where Evander Kane took away momentum and took away a chance for the Oilers to extend the lead here in the first period. And as good as the Oilers were, it's just one shot right now.
Yep.
And I think that this was a period that the Oilers, they could have come out 2-0. They were the better team by quite a bit, and you just didn't want to leave anything on the table, and I think they may have, because they had to kill the final 4 minutes.
Holloway's on the line with Draisaitl and Kane. I thought he had a pretty good period.
I've been lobbying for this in my text group for the last year. He's a top 6 player. He's big, he's physical, he's got speed, he's got good hands. He was drafted to be a top 6 player. He hasn't really gotten an opportunity to play in that type of role. He's been at times where a mistake kept him out of the lineup or kept him on the bench. I think he's been very good and confident since he's come up from the minors. He was due. There's a lot of other people who have had chances to play in the top 6 over the first 9 games or 10 games of 9 games in the playoffs here that haven't got it done. So Holloway gets his opportunity, and I thought he was very good keeping plays alive. That's a confident young man. He pulled the puck between his legs. And one of those things with Sam Gagner used to do every once in a while. You don't usually see a lot of young kids doing it. Holloway does. That line was good. So the Edmonton Oilers came out in the first period, and they were the team that initiated. They were the team that set the pace, and the Vancouver Canucks struggled. And the one player that has been struggling all playoff for the Vancouver Canucks, Ian Cole, the penalty JT Miller took was because Ian Cole had the puck not once, not twice, but 3 times on his stick, 3 times turned it over in his own zone, which allowed the Edmonton Oilers to stay in there. And eventually, JT Miller takes the penalty, and Leon Draisaitl makes him pay with the goal.
Tonight's Oilers playoffs 50-50 in support of the Solary Children's Hospital, Food Banks Alberta, and the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. Draw is at 11 o'clock. Jackpot's big. It's almost $4 million. 3.94. Early bird draw 9:30 for a team-signed jersey, and at 10 p.m. for a Ford Bronco. Oilers up 1-0 after the first. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine, and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com.
And click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day.
This is Global News at the first intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. Fort McMurray residents in Abasand, Beacon Hill, Prairie Creek, and Grayling Terrace are now being asked to evacuate. If you live in other neighborhoods, you're asked to stay where you are until those other communities leave first. Schools in the area will be closed for the rest of the week to let families leave together. 21 patients are evacuated from various AHS spots in Fort McMurray, and buses are on standby if the hospital needs evacuating. Anger over how a pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of Alberta was removed, reaching a new high today. Hundreds of people, including students and faculty, went to the U of A main quad angry at how it all was handled. Multiple U of A faculty groups are wanting an emergency meeting with President Bill Flanagan. Plans for a new shelter in Wetaskiwin are now in limbo after City Council revoked its building permit. The contract is between Hope Mission and the province, and Wetaskiwin City Council's role is to approve a building site. Mayor Tyler Gandam says he's not sure what the shelter's future looks like. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast is at the second intermission on 630 CHED.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Bruins with an outlet through the middle. Coyle sidesteps a check to Frederick. In flight over the line right side. Right circle. Drops Coyle. Back into the slot. McAvoy shoots. He scores! Charlie McAvoy sizzles it home. His first in the playoffs. Bruins 2, Panthers 1.
Yeah, that's the final. Judd Surratt with the call of that goal from the Bruins radio network. So Boston stays alive with a 2-1 win in Florida. The Panthers continue to lead the series. It's now 3-2 as we go to the scoreboard. for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Western Hockey League final in Moose Jaw tonight for Game 3. Portland leading the Warriors 2-1 with 5 minutes left in the first period. Moose Jaw up 2-0 in the best of 7. The Oilers coming out for the second period with a 1-0 lead on the Canucks. Jack and Bob are next. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
1-0 Edmonton. Team skating 5-on-5 as we bring you back to Rogers Place for Period 2, Game 4. Canucks lead the series 2-1, but the Oilers have a 1-0 lead here in Game 4. Draisaitl power play goals, 8th of the playoffs for McDavid and Bouchard. 50-50 jackpot sitting at $4 million right now. $4 million. And you got 45 minutes to get in on our early bird prizes, a team-signed jersey, and a Ford Bronco tonight. So it's all benefiting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation and Food Banks Alberta. We're underway. Start of the second period. Ekholm twists it down deep, and now you've got Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid, and Hyman flying into the offensive zone. McDavid set up Draisaitl for that aforementioned power play goal. Ekholm shoots high and wide for the left point. Bouchard kept it alive. Nugent-Hopkins two-hopper was scooped up and cleared by Quinn Hughes up to Connor Garland. Streaking in left wing with Bouchard back, change of speed, and Pickard had to fight off a tough wrist shot short side. Rebound Hyman. Good move by Garland, fooling Evan Bouchard. He caught him flat-footed.
He's a smart, tricky little player.
20-goal season.
He's had success in this building before, as you know.
Off his face if necessary. Well, he was with the Arizona Coyotes and wearing number 83. When he came to Vancouver, Jay Beagle was in that number, so he's wearing 8. Here's Dylan Holloway to the middle of the ice. Evander Kane. Now Holloway turns, gives it up. Leon Draisaitl. Top of the right circle. Shovels down low for Holloway in the right corner. Reverse hit on Suter to create space. Kane inside, and he just missed Draisaitl. One-timer ripped by Nurse and a save. Shilovs, and he's able to cover. 18:39 to go in the second period. Bob, as you know, last year Abbotsford beat Bakersfield in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs, and Artur Shilovs in Game 2 outdueled Calvin Pickard in a low-scoring game. I know you and I were watching the results from that series from afar. We did not anticipate we'd see that matchup in this series a year later.
It's hard to believe Calvin Pickard didn't play a game for the Oilers last season.
But he's had 3 good American Hockey League seasons in a row, and another one this year earned him a promotion to the National Hockey League when Edmonton was struggling and Jack Campbell wasn't delivering. And Pickard came up and delivered a .909 save percentage and 12 key wins. And not just over cupcakes. Beat Pittsburgh twice, the Devils twice, Detroit, Dallas. Off the draw, here's Sam Lafferty. Cut off by Vinny Desharnais. It's a great story, but it's only complete if he starts winning. Nurse up the right-hand side, Ryan McLeod. And he said as much this morning. He goes, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I know what my job is. Here's McCann from Bluger. They'll send it in deep. Kulak and Ceci. His team needs him. The Oilers trail 2-1. Game 5 looming in Vancouver on Thursday night. We'll have it for you on 6:30 Chat on the Oilers Radio Network, Radio Player Canada app. Up the right-hand side, tipped in by Carlson. A backhander by Bluger that was heading wide. Kick to the corner by Pickard, and then a hard rim by Carlson chases Vancouver all the way back into its own end. Score remains 1-0 Edmonton with 2.5 gone by in this second period. Dump in by the Canucks. Pickard a turnover. Carlson fired one to the middle. He's a guy who's had back-to-back 20-goal years in the American League. That time he tried to hit Lindholm. The Oilers turn it over to Lindholm, and this time Carlson wanted to shoot, only to see it forced into the corner. Oilers on it. Derek Ryan, who had a solid first period, especially on the kill. Up the left-hand side, Connor Brown back to center, and he also went head-to-head against JT Miller once. Up the left-hand side, the Canucks unable to get a puck touch there, and that'll be an icing call whistled against Vancouver, and an O-zone draw coming for Edmonton with a 1-0 lead for the Oilers on Draisaitl's first period power play goal.
Vancouver has picked it up a little bit here, Jack. They're playing with a little bit better tempo. We see how the Oilers respond. Edmonton had a good first period, 1-for-1 in the power play, killed off 3 shorthanded situations.
That Thursday Game 5 in Vancouver will be an 8 o'clock Mountain Time start for the Oilers. By the way, Boston remained alive. They forced a Game 6, as the Carolina Hurricanes did last night in their Eastern Conference semifinal. Bruins beat the Panthers tonight 2-1. Here's McDavid working in. Wrist shot short side and a save made by Sheeloffs from deep in the left circle. Rebound, Nugent-Hopkins fires again. Sheeloffs made a save through a screen. McDavid couldn't locate the rebound, but Hyman does. Zach Hyman, the playoff leader with 9 goals. We thought he might have had a 10th near the end of regulation on Sunday, but the puck pinballed off of Ian Cole and into the net. It's the 3rd time in this series that Cole has scored an own goal. Dump in by Bouchard. Picked up by Juleson up the right-hand side and fired in by Brock Besser. Matthias Ekholm on the puck for Edmonton. A turnover. Besser, left circle. Drop pass, a wrist shot off the goalpost. Good chance for Pius Suter, and he drew iron. It's the outside of the post, but nevertheless, a quick chance for the Canucks. Juleson, high slot drive, redirected. Juleson, originally a first-round draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens 9 years ago, went 26th overall. Long shot from distance taken by Zadorov, careened off the corner boards. Juleson up to Besser, and it's flipped in. Elias Pettersson inside, one-timer to save Pickard. Good read, knew where that shot was going, and he stopped Teddy Bluger cold from the slot.
Well, they got 2 pretty good looks there. Edmonton's got to do a little bit better job managing the puck in D-zone, and a real nice play from Hyman, freed up McDavid, and fight went off with Sheeloffs.
15-18 to go in the second period. Here's the difference for the Canucks, leading 2-1. If they win Game 4, they're 10-1 in those series. They only lost to Minnesota in 2003. But if they lose, they've won only 3 of 11 series that have been tied at 2 games apiece.
We saw the Oilers last year rally from 2-1 down against...
Twice. Both teams. I mean, they didn't win the series against Vegas, but they won Game 4 twice. Beating LA and then against Vegas. The Vegas game was at home. The LA game was on the road. Here's Evander Kane up the right-hand side for Leon Draisaitl. Fires a pass, a hard one that Holloway could not handle. Eventually tracks it down in the left corner. Looking for Kane. Bumped off the puck. Tyler Myers tries the right-hand side, and he's going to be cut off by Darnell Nurse. Played it over to Vinny Desharnais. Up the gut, and Kane inadvertently spilled it out of play. 14:41 to go in the second period. I mean, Desharnais, the shuffling of that pairing-wise, I mean, did that catch Desharnais' attention? What For what reason do you think Desharnais was especially, as you called it, prickly in the first period?
I think he's gotten the message, got to be more physical. The Oilers are quick shifting. We're going to have McDavid here.
With McLeod on his wing.
Yep.
So a little wrinkle. McLeod up with McDavid and Holloway. And, of course, there was a time, that's Corey Perry on the right-hand side. Not Holloway, but there was a time earlier this season where McLeod spent a great deal of time on the wing with Leon Draisaitl as McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins were on a tear. Perry to McLeod, and his shot deflected up and out of play by Quinn Hughes. 14-19 to go in the second period. Ryan McLeod, just one goal in his last 28 games, 3 in his prior 48 coming into tonight. And one of the guys that Edmonton would dearly love to get off the schneid and help supplement the elite-level offense provided by McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman.
This is interesting. Chris Knobloch trusting Derek Ryan.
It's the second time 5-on-5 against JT Miller.
Yeah, with Janmark and Brown.
And Miller this time wins the draw. Churning up the left-hand side as Philip Hronek. Besser creating a 2-on-1. Reach shot denied by Pickard. Rebound loose, and the Oilers able to dig it out. Clearing was Janmark.
Cece's got to make a better play there, Jack.
Pickard, a terrific save, though. Here's Besser. Wandering his way in, shoveling behind the net. 7 goals in the playoffs, 3rd in the NHL. One-timer ripped by Hronek from the high slot. That climbed up on the plexi. Besser the rebound, turned it over to Janmark. He'll control up the center and make certain of a clear deep into the corner. Connor Brown won a battle. Tried to throw it in front for Connor McDavid on the ice. Out to Bouchard, a lunging shot toward Nugent-Hopkins. Defended by Hronek. Bouchard again, lets it fly. Wide of Sheloffs. Skips out in front, and the Canucks, a little miscommunication there, as eventually cleared down the middle, and it turns into an icing call. I think Miller wanted to just put that underneath Sheloff's pads, and the rookie goaltender wanted none of it. And so Vancouver, a bit of a panicky clear, and it's icing, and Edmonton an ozone draw.
Calvin Pickard bailed out Cody Cece. Cece lost the puck battle on the boards. And Brock Besser, who's been hot against Edmonton.
And denied by Pickard. I mean, Besser has the 3rd most goals over the Edmonton Oilers over the last 11 years. And, of course, he hasn't played for 11 years. Besser's only in his 7th season.
Who's 1 and 2?
1 and 2? Well, you should know who 1 is. He's playing in this game. Elias Lindholm, 26 goals over the last 11 years. Second is Joe Pavelski. Off the draw, chipped out by Brock Besser, but
you had to know it was Elias Lindholm. He's just funny.
But I brought it up because, of course, Besser hasn't been in the league as long as Lindholm, and obviously Pavelski. Sent in deep by Matthias Ekholm. And now McDavid breaks loose, dishes off. Little 5-on-5 shift here for McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. McDavid thunders into Hronek. Hughes knows he needs a clear and golfs it safely out to center. Ekholm will be guilty of an icing call here. 12:34 to play in the second period. Edmonton 1 and Vancouver no score. Besser, of course, opened the year with a 4-goal blitz on Edmonton and that 8-1 pasting, and that seemed to send the teams in the directions that an 8-1 score would suggest over the first month of the year. The Oilers ended up dismissing Jay Woodcroft, hiring Chris Knobloch, and they were able to retool and get back into the mix, while the Canucks, that triggered a 37-12-6 start. Now, they tailed off in the second half, but that kind of cushion helped them keep the division lead and ultimately win the title. At home ice in this series. Off the draw, Ekholm dumps it length of the ice. Zadorov to Noel Juleson. Garland rifles one. Joshua had to go off the skate right to Darnell Nurse, and Ekholm will send it in deep. Canucks recover the puck. Hronek to Lindholm to Garland, and activating now is Zadorov. Left wing, checked by Desharnais. Joshua looking for Garland. He collided with a referee. The puck now underneath Garland's prostrate form, trying to pry it loose Nugent-Hopkins, and he did expertly. Backhanded by Desharnais, and that skitters out of the zone, and now Nurse has a step to the net with a backhander to save made by Sheloff. Rebound Nurse, Sheloff scrambles, makes another save, and Garland comes over to try to clear. Darnell Nurse back-to-back opportunities, and then Ian Cole almost another dreadful giveaway right in front of his own net, and he got away with an icing call up the left-hand side. Boy, Ian Cole is having a tough series. Desharnais. Nurse, 2 good looks. Corey Perry back to Nurse. They'll put it on Perry's stick. It's in deep. Quinn Hughes belted by McLeod. Carlson came over, launched it ahead for Ilya Mikheyev, but racing back, and that's an alert play by Brett Kulak to deny a potential icing negation for Vancouver. Instead, it is icing, and the Oilers will get yet another offensive zone draw. 11:06 to play, second period, and the Oilers still leading 1-0 on the first period power play goal by Draisaitl.
Well, there's one where Tyler Myers is 6'8". His length helped break up a scoring opportunity, forcing Darnell Nurse to his backhand.
Face-off win for Edmonton. Hyman to Nugent-Hopkins, checked by Juleson. McDavid comes over with help, left corner. Reverse pivot, dishes off, Ekholm. Left point looking for a lane. Not there, Nugent-Hopkins to Zach Hyman. Checked by Pedersen. Hyman rolls up top, shoots wide, rebound Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid beneath the goal line. Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins. Now McDavid coming out of the left corner. Trailed by Pedersen. Backhand cross ice, looking to tee up Nugent-Hopkins. Instead, it's Bouchard right point. Defended by Carlson and Zadorov on that left-hand side. Nugent-Hopkins. Beautiful pass. One touch to Ekholm, who fired up over top. The setup was from McDavid. Around the boards, Ekholm. Put it behind the net. Hyman had it roll off the toe of his blade. Now he's got it back against Zadorov. Worked free by Pedersen. Here's Bouchard walking the line. In the high slot, Bouchard to Hyman. Behind the net, McLeod. Fogle perched in front. McLeod can't get it to him. Ekholm. McLeod, top of the right circle. Oilers have rolled it over here once. Ekholm shot. Blocker save. High in the air. And Fogle had it redirect off him and right back into Sheloff with 9:42 to play in this second period. We are live from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. 8th level. Sold out Rogers Place. 18,347 to see if Edmonton can tie this best-of-7 series at 2 games apiece. The Oilers lead Game 4, 1-0. We're back in a moment with more live second period play-by-play. Halfway home, Edmonton 1, Vancouver no score. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Vancouver has started this Stanley Cup postseason run by winning 4 straight on the road. The last 3 teams to start a Stanley Cup trek with 5 straight road victories have all won the Cup. 2 years ago, Colorado, 2012, LA, and 2004, Tampa. Oilers trying to deny the Canucks that accolade with a win tonight in Game 4. Off the draw, Vancouver from its own end, able to chip it successfully into the Edmonton zone. Ekholm up to Evander Kane, sealed off by Tyler Myers, but dug out off the half wall by Holloway, and now Draisaitl 2-on-1 with Ceci. Draisaitl centers, and Ceci knocked it wide. Draisaitl tried to force it in front. Holloway gives it up to Evander Kane, drags and shoots, and a right pad save made by Shelops.
It's a missed opportunity for Edmonton.
Canucks trying to create at the other end. Besser will move it in with JT Miller. High slot for Hughes. His shot. That fluttered wide. May have been tipped. Rebound. Kane lost it. Miller on his backhand. Curls from out of the corner. Trying to go back door. And Kulak, an excellent read and steal and clear back to center. He's been pretty solid in this series. Hughes will walk it back in for Vancouver. Winds it around for Elias Lindholm. Ceci over to cut it off. He got smoked by Joshua. Lost the puck. Garland to Roenick. Walks the line. Quinn Hughes, top of the right circle. Wide open left circle. It's Garland. Loads and fires, and that shot deflected up over top. And then Draisaitl. That's a collision. That's not interference. That was just a collision. A Canuck felled. And here's Quinn Hughes. Shot left side, save Pickard. Rebound Joshua and Lindholm, hungry after it. Draisaitl did not get it cleared. Lindholm to Hughes. Beautiful pivoting out of traffic. Roenick shot, and that was redirected by Kane right to Kulak. Oilers ultimately will get it clear as Kane lobs it back through the middle.
Need more from that group there.
Hughes up the middle of the ice for Connor Garland. Ceci defending. Garland, double team. Kane came over. Garland had it, lost it. Mikheyev, and Roenick is chased out of the zone. Edmonton a long change, but the Oilers will get it done as the Canucks send it in deep. Pickard reverses up the left-hand side, and Pettersson threw his body into McDavid, but he took the hit to make the play. It's now slapped back in by Zadorov on net. Pickard guides to the corner. Good push here from Vancouver with 7 minutes to go in the period. Rifled on net by Juleson, and a save made by Calvin Pickard. 7:11 to go in the second period. 1-0 Oilers, and this is Juleson's second postseason appearance. He looks like a different player than when we last saw him in Montreal, perhaps understandably so. We'll take a break. This is the second period of Game 4 of this Western Conference semifinal, with the Oilers looking to even the best of 7 series. A first period power play goal by Leon Draisaitl has Edmonton on top 1-0. For Oilers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an AC repairman. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay. Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
All
games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 Edmonton, 7:11 to play, second period of Game 4. The Oilers trying to get this series tied with Game 5 in Vancouver, Thursday night, 8 Mountain. The Oilers 50-50 jackpot sitting at $4.3 million. For every $100 you purchase at 50-50 tickets, you get $25 for Boston Pizza and a $25 sports bet for Play Alberta. Off the draw, a shot on net, a second one from distance by Zadorov. Both fought off of the blocker by Calvin Pickard. Hughes to Besser, right circle. Vancouver, good push here in the last couple of minutes. Another shot by Besser. Does not make its way through. Hughes with an interception, tried to find J.T. Miller. Coming out of the corner and making sure that doesn't happen. Desharnais against Pius Suter. Hughes, nevertheless, over to Zadorov. And that eluded Miller on the carom. Draisaitl walked it back to center. Quinn Hughes up with a puck for Vancouver. A dart to Brock Besser. Right circle, slides down the wall against McDavid. Tries a shot that's swallowed up by Vinny Desharnais. He breaks free of Suter and tries the right side for Hyman. That pass eluded Hyman. And now it's Ian Cole on his backhand. Edmonton has proven you can get to Cole on his backhand in this series. Echo off a Cole turnover, brings it back into the offensive zone, sends it around the boards. Draisaitl tried to McDavid tried to duck inside and lost the handle. It was chipped back to center. Ekholm and Joshua collision, and out of the fray comes Elias Lindholm. Right wing hits Joshua, shoots, and that deflected away. Rebound Lindholm. Good chance, but Edmonton in the lane that time. Bouchard to Hyman, just missed Connor McDavid. Back to get it, Tyler Myers. Put it up the right-hand boards, and that skips out a play with 5:36 to go in the second period. We will take another break. Live from sold-out Rogers Place, Edmonton, a 1-0 lead. Draisaitl midway through the first, a power play goal set up by McDavid and Bouchard. And that's the difference thus far in Game 4, with the Oilers bidding to get this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal series even. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run. Or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains, so you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
From your home to the ice rink, Atco Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. Atco Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822. You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Difference in the game has been special teams. Vancouver 0 for 3 on the power play. Edmonton 1 for 1. We've not had a power play in the second period, which has 5:36 remaining in it. The Oilers outshot the Canucks 8-4 in the first period. The Canucks with a 9-7 spread here in the second, but there's been no scoring. Only Draisaitl's first period power play goal has altered the scoreboard.
Both teams have had chances 5-on-5.
McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. A face-off to Sheloff's right-hand side. Edmonton in the blue, Vancouver in the white. Hyman trying to plow his way through heavy traffic to the net. Can't do it. McDavid will try the same. And knifed away by Teddy Bluger. Here's a blast by Bouchard. Blocked in front. Rebound stopped. Stone cold Sheloff's taking one away from Zach Hyman, who continues to pile up the chances. 5:20 to go in the second. No one's had more high danger chances than Zach Hyman.
That's because he's around the net.
And he's got 9 goals to lead the league. Draisaitl next up with 8. And then Besser has 7. Good hockey game. Edmonton 1, Vancouver no score. McDavid will do it again, this time against JT Miller. McDavid comes up with the puck. Right circle defended by Miller. Over to Ekholm, his shot steered aside by Sheloff's. This has been Miller's quietest performance by far. Shot from the right-hand side, Bouchard angled off the pads of goaltender Sheloff's. Because you have to remember, with all the talk of McDavid and Draisaitl, well, JT Miller had 103 points this year,
He's
9th in the league.
player.
Here's Nugent Hopkins curling to the middle with a backhander, and that's deflected away. Vancouver's Brock Besser picks it up and clears. Ian Cole bumped in by Suter. Nugent Hopkins on the puck retrieval. Besser tries to defend, and this will turn into an icing call against Edmonton with 4:33 to go in the second. And the Oilers a 1-0 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. More props for Sheloff's. A good save on Zach Hyman as Edmonton with a chance to push its lead out a bit further.
Canucks changing the lines up a little bit here, Jack. Lafferty's up here with Pettersson.
Well, Lafferty was moved up to start. They switched up Carlson. So off the draw, though, the Canucks will not take advantage. As, again, another failed shot attempt by Roenick, who just can't get pucks through. Edmonton's done a good job getting in lanes. Here's Roenick. From Hughes up the left-hand side. Pettersson, his shot kicked aside by goaltender Calvin Pickard. Pettersson trying to break free. Wrapped up in the corner. Ilya Mikheyev trying to shake the puck loose. Batted down, Juleson. And finally clubbed out and tracked by Zadorov. Up the left-hand side, Mikheyev. Calvin Pickard will leave it for Brett Kulak up the right-hand side. Dylan Holloway with Evander Kane. Holloway right circle to the net. Denied. Point blank. Good stop. Holloway trying to create a second chance. Holloway and Kane got close to one another, and that took away the possibility for a true 2-on-1. Draisaitl back to Holloway right corner. Firing in front. Kane off the post. He had Sheloff's beat, but whacked it off the goalpost. Now Connor Garland saucered it over to Juleson, and the Canucks break out left to right. Garland will backhand it in against Corey Perry. Vinny Desharnais back behind his own net, eludes Garland, then rifles a pass up Corey Perry. Crisscross with McLeod. Right circle shot, save Sheloff's. Rebound McLeod. Vogel and Perry, 3 guys overdue. McLeod looking for Desharnais. Perry comes over. Hughes to Lindholm. Couldn't move the puck. Vogel will back to the point, but Desharnais by that time had exited the zone, and he and Nurse will trade it back at the Oiler blue line. Crowd in an uproar. 2.5 to go, second period. Oilers still lead it by a count of 1-0. Each team has won a 1-0 game already in this Stanley Cup postseason. Here's Hughes. Reverse pivot, and he paid for it. He got belted by Derek Ryan. Canucks up the right-hand side. Ryan has played a hard game tonight. Niels Oman will bump it in for Vancouver. Finishing his check was Carlson. Ceci absorbed it and fed it along to Connor Brown. Then up the right-hand side, Ceci has time to move it. Clubbed it without a lot of touch on it. Vancouver will pick it off. Cole back to Tyler Myers with 1:50 to go, and Sheloff's hearing his name reverberate through this sellout crowd. Kulak able to pick it up with 100 seconds to go in this second period. Edmonton's outshot Vancouver 20-14. The only goal coming on the power play. Draisaitl midway through the first. Edmonton dumps it in. Hard rim up the right-hand glass by Cole. Taken by Ekholm at his own blue line. Bouchard under control against JT Miller. Flung it out. Nugent Hopkins smacked it out of midair. And now Miller will wander back into his own zone. Send it rink wide for Tyler Myers. Up the middle. Pius Suter will gain the line. Force it in deep. Evan Bouchard. Long pass. On target. He finds Zach Hyman. Left wing. Shadowed by Tyler Myers, who punishes him against the corner. Clean check by Myers. Hyman, though disappearing from view momentarily, able to pop back up and keep it alive for Nugent Hopkins with a minute to go in the period. McDavid against Juleson down low. Juleson able to break it up, backhand it through the wickets of Evan Bouchard. Now Ekholm at center ice. Big hit, but it creates for Nugent Hopkins. Fires and scores! 2-0 Edmonton, and Nugent Hopkins needed that. 5-on-5 goal. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, the Oilers up by a deuce in Game 4.
Love the fact that he shot the puck, Jack. He had a 2-on-1 with Connor McDavid after Ekholm took the hit to make the play. Ekholm steps up. Nugent Hopkins was flying. He had McDavid as a shot option. Ryan's always had a great snapshot, and he delivers low to the stick side, and Edmonton's got a 2-0 lead.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins' second goal of the playoffs. His first was a power play goal against LA in Game 1. Ekholm was blasted, but popped it up for Nugent Hopkins, and he buried it inside the goalpost. And that time, Bob, the Oilers finally got it to go post and in.
Now, here's the key for Edmonton. You got 40 seconds left in this period. You can't let them get one back. You got to have a 2-goal lead here after 2.
Draisaitl between Kane and Holloway will endeavor to do exactly that. Crowd on its feet. Off the face-off, Nurse. Right-hand side for Vinny Desharnais. And again, we talked about it as the puck dumped in. Shelov's able to squeeze it. Ryan Nugent Hopkins' 5-on-5 goal production really dried up in the final month of the year. So that's a massive goal. And what you said, I think, could have long-term ramifications. Nugent Hopkins sees that one finally go in for him. He's going to be more inclined to try it again.
100%. Keep shooting.
And now with Shelov's covering, Draisaitl an ozone draw.
With McDavid on the ice with Evander Kane.
Nurse and Desharnais round out the Edmonton 5. 28 seconds to go. The Oilers looking for the double bonus here in the final minute of period 2. Nugent Hopkins, his second from Ekholm. And was that a desperately needed goal? Again, just the 4th in Edmonton's last 24, coming outside of that 5-player rotation. Here's McDavid off the draw, cuts inside, poke checked in front by Kane, and that eluded McDavid. He won a battle with Lindholm, but the puck was ultimately tossed out by Zadorov. Final 10 seconds here. And it's Nurse up the left-hand side off the camera at center. And with 6 seconds to go, we'll have a neutral zone face-off as Ryan Nugent Hopkins electrifying the sellout crowd with his 12th career Stanley Cup playoff goal.
What's interesting is, as you know, since Nugent Hopkins' first playoff year where he only had the 4 assists in 13 games.
He's been a point-per-game player.
In the playoffs.
I mean, were it not for the numbers put up by McDavid and Draisaitl, we would be talking about Nugent Hopkins always delivers come playoff time. But his numbers are obscured by ridiculous numerals put up by McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, they're averaging 1.6 points per game. I mean,
those guys are pretty good, Jack.
Well, that's the thing. You know, face-off win for Teddy Bluger. Shelovs will hold it. I mean, there are some Edmonton-based personalities who point out that Matthews and Marner over in Toronto are less than a point per game. Well, that's not unusual, even for the league's elite. McDavid and Draisaitl are just in the elite of elite all time in the history of the league. they have consistently been amongst names like Gretzky and Lemieux when it comes to all-time postseason production.
In his last 45 playoff games, 45 playoff games, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 46 points now.
Right, and you would say, again, that's better production than Matthews and Marner. And again, I can't remember who made the comparison, but...
You may be working with that guy.
Oh, was that you? I forgot.
Yeah, I may have done that in back-to-back years, but
yes.
I digress.
Well, the point is Nugent-Hopkins, like most of his game, underrated come playoff time. He's still a guy who generally finds the score sheet. Now, in this particular situation, that's a massive goal. And he scored a big one during last year's playoffs as well. Last year's first-round series win against Los Angeles.
How about Game 4 against Calgary 2 years ago? He got the first goal, and then when the Oilers blew a 3-2 lead, remember the goal from the different time zone from Rasmus Andersson and Mike Smith? It was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins that found the loose puck for his second goal.
He's had his moments.
He's had his moments. So here's the deal. You're up 2-0. They're going to have to get out of their comfort zone. I actually think Vancouver did some good things in that period, Jack. But the first period was Edmonton's, especially when you factor that they limited the Canucks to only 4 shots on goal on 3 power plays. Vancouver did create some 5-on-5 looks in that period. The impetus is now on them. They are down by 2, but they have shown in this series the ability to come back from 2-0 down. Right.
Again, the first goal of the game, the first 3 games has lost every time.
So
I will say this for Edmonton, though. You're exactly right. Vancouver, from about the 10-minute mark of the second period to about the 3-minute mark, started to push its way into the game and threaten to take over. And yet the Oilers, in the final 3 minutes, they found a counterattack, put Vancouver under wraps, and finally it was Matthias Ekholm, whom we suspect may not be at full strength because he did not take the skate this morning. Ekholm took a massive hit, not just a hit, a massive hit from Juleson, and Nugent-Hopkins able to take that pass and bury it.
That's 5 points now in 4 games in the series for Matthias Ekholm as well. So you're up by 2, play smart, but don't play prevent defense. Keep pushing it, and you're going to get counter-strike opportunities. They already had one with Draisaitl and Ceci on a clean 2-on-1. I would have much preferred Leon, a 3-time 50 goal scorer, just to shoot the pill there.
Well, speaking of Ceci, he would echo your point, because remember, he told you and I after Game 1 he felt like they sat back too much. So they tried to nurse it home.
So learn. Those of us that forget the past, they're forever condemned to repeat it. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they're up 2-0. They got a chance even this series 2-2. They need a strong third period.
Bob Stauffer having a very sharp outside quote game. Edmonton 2, Vancouver nothing. The goals, Draisaitl in the first on the power play. Nugent-Hopkins in the second at even strength in the final minute. Is that going to be the dagger? Well, the Oilers have 20 minutes to decide whether, in fact, that will be so. Edmonton 2, Vancouver no score. It's 20 minutes away from a tied series. Reed and Robert next. This is 4 Dealers NHL Hockey at the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup Playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup Final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Now Ekholm at center ice. Big hit, but it creates for Nugent-Hopkins. Fires and scores. 2-0 Edmonton. And Nugent-Hopkins needed that. 5-on-5 goal. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The Oilers up by a deuce in Game 4.
Big goal, 39.8 seconds to go in the second period. Into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner zone. So Draisaitl in the first on a power play. Nugent Hopkins with the 5-on-5 shot there. Rob, a 2-on-1 with McDavid, but Nuge had it on his off wing, and he picks his spot.
Well, it was a 2-on-1 against Tyler Myers, who's about 6'10" and on skates 6'12" with a long stick. You shoot there. 100% of the time you shoot there. I know you have Connor McDavid with you, but Nugent Hopkins is on his off wing. He's got a monster of a man between him and Connor McDavid. You do not waste an opportunity there. That was a new player in the lineup, Noah Juulsen, who came in for the suspended Carson Soucy. He steps up. You can't step up there. The Vancouver Canucks would have felt very good going into the third period down 1 goal. They have, they were playing better. Things were going not bad for the Vancouver Canucks if they could get through the second period. And Juulsen steps up in the neutral zone. He hits Ekholm, but he also stops both his back-checking forwards from being able to get back, and it turns into a 2-on-1 with 2 of the best players on the Oilers. And all of a sudden, that 1-0 lead, that one shot you were away from tying up the game is now 2. And the way that Calvin Pickard has played, that almost seems insurmountable right now. So a huge goal for RNH the end of the period to set up the Edmonton Oilers with a 2-goal lead going into the third.
Shots on goal, 22-14 in favor of Edmonton in that period. It was 15-10. Well, now they changed it to 14-10 in favor of the Oilers. Anyway, the Oilers out shooting the Canucks for the game. But Vancouver had a really good push in that period, Rob. Good forechecking. Good job preventing the Oilers from clearing pucks. Pickard had to make a couple good saves, but there is a little more desperation in the Oilers. I mean, at least they're working to recover if they do have an error or the Canucks look they have an open shot.
Well, it started in the first period. Leon Draisaitl turned the puck over in the offensive zone that created a partial 2-on-1 for Besser and Miller. And Leon chased down Besser, and Besser didn't even get a shot on net. In the second period there, twice Connor Garland came out of the corner and made moves and had wide open looks that the Oilers were able to get sticks on. There were a number of good chances in front of the net that were turned into nothing because Oilers got sticks or skates or bodies in front of it. So the desperation and urgency that the Oilers lacked in game number 3, they have tonight. They've matched the Vancouver Canucks. And a couple of really high-skilled plays by the Oilers. This goalie for the Canucks has played well again. He's had a fantastic game. It's taken 2 very good shots to beat him. But the Oilers have played well. And you can see that the Canucks miss Soucy on the back end. He is noticeably absent as the Vancouver Canucks have had to overplay a couple players that I'm sure they wish they'd have a little less ice time for.
So 2-0 for the Oilers after 2. Rob, I thought Holloway's playing with some good energy. He and Kane had a 2-on-1. Unfortunately, didn't get the chance that they quite wanted to. I don't think. But
Holloway created another chance where Kane got backdoor and just off the toe of Sheloff. So the Oilers have played well. They've created a number of grade A scoring chances. They've been good in their own zone with some urgency. They've been much more physical. Now, there was a stretch of about 6-7 minutes in the second period where the Oilers got caught turning the puck over in the neutral zone, and the Canucks took advantage and had, a partial breakaway by Besser, a 2-on-1. The Miller line had probably 2 shifts in the offensive zone where they were able to create. Pettersson has been out on a bunch of different lines. He's been better tonight, but every time they've had a look, Pickard's made the first save, and there hasn't been a second opportunity. So this was the type of effort that the Oilers needed tonight. There's 20 minutes to go. The Vancouver Canucks have shown they've come back. But to me, the way the Oilers are playing tonight, I think that second goal that was scored by RNH at the end of the period, to me, that just makes that mountain that much higher for the Canucks to try and come back from. And I can just imagine in the dressing room, they're thinking right now, we were 38 seconds away of getting out and escaping, and instead, now that mountain's huge.
Yeah, it was kind of a scrambly last 90 seconds, too. Like, you almost felt as if something might happen, and then the puck came free for Nugent-Hopkins.
And it came free because Juleson stepped up. And you just can't step up in that situation. Now, I mean, the guy's been in the press box all playoffs long. This is his first game. But sometimes he's trying to make something happen, and it was a very good hit. But he put RNH and McDavid in on a 2-on-1. And if you watch the replay, he took out both his back-checking forwards as well. So he didn't read the play very well. And there you go. There's this one-game suspension. That kid's in instead of Susie. Susie doesn't make that play. The Oilers have a 2-0 lead because of it.
Okay, the Oilers Community Foundation online 50-50 jackpot is at $4.83 million. The draw is at 11, so I will make the safe prediction, in my mind anyway, that it's going to get over $5 million, which is pretty cool. Again, draw at 11 o'clock tonight. Go to the Oilers website, hit that link to get your ticket. 2-0 Edmonton leading Vancouver after 2 in Game 4. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
You're invited to the Winspear Center for an unforgettable evening of music with the Cosmopolitan Music Society's 60th anniversary season finale on June 9th. Tickets at cosmopolitanmusic.org. Then huddle up for a football frenzy as the 2024 U20 World Junior Football Championships hit the field at Commonwealth Stadium June 20th through the 30th. Tickets at worldjuniorfootballchampionships.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. An evacuation order is in effect for Fort McMurray residents in Beacon Hill, Abasand, Prairie Creek, and Grayling Terrace. If you are outside these areas, officials ask you to stay in place until the communities mentioned have evacuated safely. Evacuees should register online. Today, Edmonton City Council heard how the province's controversial Bill 20 could change the next election and discovered how much more it could end up costing taxpayers. The proposed legislation would include the introduction of political parties and ban electronic vote tabulators. Our preliminary estimate shows it could cost an additional $3 to $4 million to run an Edmonton election. Canadians who joined a class action lawsuit against Life Labs are now receiving checks and e-transfers. The class action was launched after a 2019 data breach allowed hackers to access the personal information of up to 15 million Life Lab customers. A Ukrainian general is applauding Defense Minister Bill Blair's recent comments about the Russian invasion. Blair said Monday in Washington that allies are talking about what it will take to get victory for Ukraine. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast is after the game on 630 Ched.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a one-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority. It's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, let's check that scoreboard for Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The other NHL game tonight sees the Boston Bruins extend their series against the Florida Panthers. Boston winning 2-1 on the road, so Florida now up 3-2 in the best of 7. Tomorrow, just one game, Stars and the Avalanche. Dallas back home for that one, and they have a 3-1 series lead. Western Hockey League Championship Series. Halfway through Game 3, Portland and Moose Jaw in a 2-2 tie in Moose Jaw. Warriors have a 2-0 lead in the series. And NBA playoffs tonight. Nuggets lead the Timberwolves 43-39. About 3 minutes left in the first half. That series is tied 2-2. Knicks won at home, 121-91 over the Pacers to take a 3-2 series lead there. Okay, Draisaitl in the first, Nugent-Hopkins in the second period. Oilers coming out for the third with a 2-0 lead on the Canucks in Game 4. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
2-0 hockey game. The Edmonton Oilers getting single goals in each of the first two periods. Draisaitl on the power play from McDavid and Bouchard at 11:10 of the first, and then Nugent-Hopkins at even strength. Bit of a backbreaker for Vancouver. 40 seconds to go in the second period. Ekholm took a hit to make the play, and Edmonton leads 2-0 as we get you set for the third period. The Oilers 50-50 jackpot approaching $5 million. Drop of the puck, third period, we're underway. Lindholm won it from McDavid, and the Canucks attacking right to left in this third period, trailing by 2. Of course, they trailed by 2 in Game 1. 4-2, rallied for a 5-4 victory with 3 goals in the final 10.5 minutes. Hughes a shot, and that redirected dangerously wide of Calvin Pickard, making his first start ever in the Stanley Cup playoffs at age 32. The Oilers clear it down.
Got to win those little puck battles on the wall. Canucks won one there, got a puck to the net.
By the way, that 50-50 jackpot, which, again, nearly $5 million, a dump in by Vancouver. Desharnais to Darnell Nurse, benefiting the Stollery and the food banks of Alberta. You've still got about 20 minutes to get involved in the early bird prize for a Ford Bronco. So it's worth your time. Holloway, beautiful dish ahead, left wing Evander Kane over the line. Backhander Draisaitl on a save made by Shelovs. His 21st stop of the night, but he's been out-dueled thus far by Pickard, who's been perfect on 14.
A real good play there by Evander Kane. Dylan Holloway, they want a puck battle on the wall. And then Draisaitl, who's got a pretty good backhand.
Well, you wanted more out of that line, and I thought they had a better second period.
Yep. I'll tell you, one guy who's had an impressive game to this date, this time, is Derek Ryan.
Been excellent.
Playing with great desperation tonight.
And not just on the PK. Face-off, win for Derek Ryan. Brown tried to curl it back to Ryan in the circle, and that was an ill-advised pass, and the Canucks were able to clear. And playing with a lead, the Oilers have been able to cut back on the minutes by McDavid and Draisaitl. Only Mike Modano in 2001 against Edmonton and Marty St. Louis in 2007 played more minutes than McDavid and Draisaitl on Sunday night in a 60-minute playoff game. 29 plus for both. Here's Derek Ryan charging in left-hand side. Connor Brown out to the point. Kulak. Marty St. Louis played 31 and a half minutes in that playoff game in 2007 for Tampa.
He's a great player.
Kulak. I hope so.
It's a smaller man, too, playing a lot of minutes, John.
Up the right-hand side. Mike Modano wasn't small. He played nearly 30 against Edmonton. That was an Oiler win, 2001. Here's Ryan McLeod in for the right-hand side. Puts the brakes on. Cody Ceci winds it around for Corey Perry. He's got a body similar to Mike Modano. McLeod chucked wide by Fogle. Back on the puck, taken away by Hughes and carried up ice by Carlson. Hughes eventually forks it in. 2.5 gone by, third period. 2-0 Edmonton. Kulak, a nice job of sealing Bluger from the puck. Bluger never could get there. And Fogle bumped it free back to Kulak. Directed around the boards, Quinn Hughes. Carlson checked. And I think that's Kulak who's drawn a penalty on Linus Carlson. First penalty we've seen since the first period. And I was just going to say, Kulak, in some ways, is not only underrated speed-wise, but underrated grit-wise, too.
Oh, he's better in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. That's what we've seen. He's a guy that can elevate. This is a huge power play.
And Linus Carlson, I mean, if you're the 12th forward, you cannot take a penalty 195 feet away from your own net against Brett Kulak.
Oh, he reached in twice.
Well, I'm just saying it's a bad penalty.
It's a bad penalty.
I'm not saying it was a bad call.
He made it an easy call for the officials.
It's an easy call. It's a bad penalty. You can't take that penalty. Face-off right side against Shelovs. Not against a power play that's 5 for 9 in the series. Draisaitl wins the draw. Bouchard high slot. Dishing. Nugent-Hopkins steers back to Bouchard. Coming off the goal line, Connor McDavid. Now Leon Draisaitl, top of the right circle. Fires in a sprawling right pad save made by Shelovs. That was one of his best of the night. His 23rd overall, and it remains 2-0 with 1:45 to go on this Atco power play. Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer. The Oilers have scored a power play goal now in 9 straight games to begin the postseason. The only power play in the history of the league with a longer streak than that in the Stanley Cup playoffs was the 1988 Oilers, who scored in 16 games in a row on the power play.
And they went 16-2 that year in the playoffs.
Draisaitl won the face-off. Nugent-Hopkins gives way to Ceci. He fires into the opposite corner for Draisaitl. Hyman battling. Still loose. Ian Cole, smart pass up the middle, and JT Miller breaks out shorthanded. He'll give it up for Lindholm. Crisscross with Miller. Lindholm shoots off the glove of Calvin Pickard, and the rebound picked up by Hyman. But that was a smart move by Miller. You got a Pickard shot there. Down 2-0. You've got Lindholm with you. Why not give it a look? Here's McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins carrying across the line left to right. Edmonton leading 2-0 halfway through this power play. Here's McDavid on his backhand. Operating from behind the net. Getting it back from Bouchard. Left circle in front. Nugent-Hopkins shoots wide. Nugent-Hopkins scored in the final minute of period 2. And that time just missed, extending Edmonton's lead further. McDavid gives it back to Nugent-Hopkins, gliding behind the net, switching with Draisaitl. Top of the right circle, Draisaitl down low, in front, deflected! Sheelovs kept it out. What a save! Centering pass, Nugent-Hopkins fires, and that was fought off. Rebound, Draisaitl, right circle. McDavid thought it was in. You almost never see that. McDavid coming off the goal line, loading up. Draisaitl back to McDavid, blocked, came back to Draisaitl. Right circle, now on the dot. Nugent-Hopkins, slide step to his left. Draisaitl point blank across, taken away by Juleson. It was a good penalty killer. Rick Tocchet talked about that pregame. Bouchard, 5 seconds on the power play. McDavid a shot, rebound. What a save on Hyman. Sheelov single-handedly keeping the Canucks in the game. Wow. And a length of the ice clear delivered by Vancouver. Sheelov stopping Hyman and McDavid. Bob, I can't remember McDavid celebrating a goal thinking it was in, and it wasn't in, off the top of my head. And he's played 9 years in the league. Puck deflected out of play. He is never guilty of prematurely reacting to success.
This guy's having a heck of a performance here in goal.
I thought the save on Draisaitl was pretty good. Then he followed it up with 2 better ones. Draisaitl to McDavid, and that pinballed off the skate of Sheelov's and stayed lodged underneath the pad, and then he stretched out his left pad to deny Hyman on a subsequent look. McDavid thought it had gone underneath the skate, and it had not. Miller wins the faceoff. Canucks back off, and it's scooped in by Besser. Calvin Pickard will direct it up the boards. JT Miller able to cut it off. Checked by McLeod. Left corner, Hughes Suter. Shot Hughes, redirected in front. Swing and a miss by Suter, and McLeod got back into the play. Dug it out to Kane. Not moved out of the zone, though. Miller able to keep it alive. One-timer ripped wide by Besser. And Edmonton got lucky there. Flung out of play inadvertently by Quinn Hughes, but that's the first time, and now you've got Miller getting challenged by Nurse and Desharnais, and a real pile-up in the corner with Suter trying to protect Miller a bit. But that's the first time in a while that Edmonton has been a little suspect at its own end, and Besser very nearly made them pay.
And he can finish. We've seen that, especially against the Oilers.
Players separated. I didn't see any penalties called. 14 and a quarter remaining third period. And a 2-0 game in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl is 8th of the postseason on the power play midway through the first. And then Nugent-Hopkins in the final minute of the second.
Special shout out to Mark, who's driving through the Hudson Valley. It's Oilers fans everywhere, Jack.
Face off, right side. Elias Pettersson digging in against Derek Ryan. Corey Perry glowering at Brock Besser. Did you see what he did? He placed the stick right on the chin, but obviously did not use force. Hughes will wind it around. Janmark trying to tug it out of the zone. Pettersson able to maintain for now. Mikheyev comes over, gives it up, and Roenick a bobble at the point. Vancouver would like more from Philip Roenick, I can guarantee that. Kulak will swat it in deep. Roenick right on cue, a near giveaway to Connor Brown. Bailed out by Pettersson and Mikheyev. Roenick, this time a dart completed successfully to Quinn Hughes, but an extra move at the line, and Vancouver's drawn into an offside with 13:36 to go in the third period, and the Oilers' lead remains at 2-0. This is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Desharnais underneath to attend to some equipment issues, and the Oilers are now 13 and a half minutes away from evening this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal, which continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall,
From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers have outshot the Canucks handily once again, 28-15. But whereas 4 goals went in on 15 shots against Stuart Skinner in Game 3, none have gone in against Calvin Pickard. Edmonton has got 2 by Shilovs and leads Game 4 with 13.5 to play off the neutral zone faceoff. The Canucks under control. Pumped in by Connor Garland. Desharnais after it for the Oilers. Now Dakota Joshua for the Canucks. Checked by Nurse. Behind the net, Draisaitl. Desharnais. Joshua ducks back in, picks up a puck, and finds Garland left corner offensive zone for Vancouver. Shot by Zadorov, redirected. Garland! Wrist shot, score. And the Canucks have gotten on the board 2-1. Connor Garland, a friendly bounce right to him. And the man who scored the game winner in Game 1 has cut Edmonton's lead in half.
Well, fortuitous break for Vancouver, to say the least. Nice little interchange. Lindholm went through Lindholm, so I don't even know if he purposely meant that, but he ended up getting a piece of it, and Garland rips it home, and it's a 1-goal game. And all those saves
by Shilovs, keeping him in the game.
Yep. Probably should be a 4-0 game right now, Jack, based on scoring opportunities in this game. Instead, it's 4-1. It's a 2-1 game.
Off the draw, and Vancouver needed a bounce and got one. Up the left-hand side, Suter. Bouchard attempted to clear, and Vancouver walked it back in, but offside with 12:53 to go in the third period. Well, it's almost as though these two teams cannot play a game separated by more than 1 goal. First 3 games of the series decided by 1 goal. And this one back to a 1-goal game with 12:53 left in regulation. JT Miller wins the draw. Ian Cole to Tyler Myers. He'll shoot it in. Off of Pickard. Bouchard tries the right-hand side. Miller back to Cole. He whacked it high and wide. Rebound off the board. Suter back behind the net for Miller. Bouchard hard up the left-hand boards, skipping and right to Ekholm. Up the left-hand side, Nugent-Hopkins. Now McDavid wires one on net. Save made by goaltender Archer Shilovs. Myers defending down low. Miller did not get it out. Bouchard failed to hold the zone. Pettersson's extra effort forged a clear back through the neutral, and Ekholm will take a skate. As we go under 12 minutes to play, third period. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1. Ekholm to Corey Perry up the left-hand side, and the Canucks clear back through center. Game 1, the Oilers coughed up a 4-1 lead, lost 5-4. Game 2, Edmonton trailed entering the third period, rallied to win in overtime 4-3. Game 3, the Canucks beat the Oilers 4-3 behind 42 saves from Shilovs. Here's Pettersson in over the line. Wrist shot for the tie, and Bluger had it deflect wide. Rebound, Ceci knocked off the puck. Behind the net is Pettersson. He'll angle it off the boards. Roenick to Quinn Hughes. Trading places with Roenick. Defended by Fogle. Shot from distance. Rebound. And a lunging Teddy Bluger. Unable to make clean contact with that puck. Bob, and I feel like Edmonton was fortunate.
Were they
and
ever?
He did not.
He picks it up cleanly. It's in the net.
Philip Roenick back in his own zone with 11 minutes to play. Up the right-hand side, Lindholm angles it in deep. Nurse behind the net. A clear by Vinny Desharnais. Up the middle, Janmark. Connor Brown to Darnell Nurse. His shot off the blocker of Shelov's. Rebound back to Nurse. Played to the corner. Brown to Ryan in front for Janmark and redirected. Boy, this fourth line has been pretty good. One shift kind of got away from them. Canucks had a couple of good chances, but other than that, they've been solid 5-on-5, and Derek Ryan has been terrific on the kill as well. Canucks up the right-hand side. Miller, cross ice, good read. Brown got a stick on it. Canucks weren't able to break out cleanly. Now Besser up to Miller. The trailer is Cole. He'll receive the pass, lost the handle. Kane defending Miller, who slithers down low, shovels it to Suter, then got it back. Draisaitl won a battle, hard up the boards, held in by Cole. Right side, Besser. Now Miller tried to give it to Besser. Draisaitl knew where he was going and put it right underneath the scoreboard. Batted down by a leaping Cole. He'll challenge Ceci and wind it around. 10 minutes to play, third period. Bluger on the right half boards, checked by Draisaitl. Myers, shot from distance. Blocker save made by Calvin Pickard. Rebound up the right-hand boards. Holloway was knocked over by Cole. Wound around, and Tyler Myers has to pick it up all the way at center. Myers for Vancouver with 9:35 to play. Up the middle, Oman gave it away. Bluger from center ice will dump it in, and the Oilers will give chase.
Canucks have some momentum here, Jack. They're pushing the pace.
Evan Bouchard with possession of the puck. Lead pass left-hand side. McDavid spins, and a backhander flicked wide. McDavid can arrest that momentum in one fell swoop, and nearly did. Nugent gets back to McDavid. Poke check by Shelov's helped free that puck up. That was a good play by the rookie goalie. Pedersen in from the left-hand side. Ekholm defending down low. Elias Pettersson trying to chisel that puck free. As we go inside, 9 minutes left in regulation. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1. McKay around the right-hand side. Roenick put it behind the net. Digging after it. Continuing to battle, and now finally freeing it up was Linus Karlsson. Pettersson, high slot, Hughes. Roenick, showed shot, gave it to Hughes, looking for a lane. Dishes, Pettersson, fires, save. Pickard, rebound. Nugent-Hopkins, short side. Came free for a moment. Karlsson still digging. Plowing his way in was Ekholm. Hughes to Roenick, one-timer redirected dangerously wide. Karlsson back on it. Vancouver, a furious push, trying to tie the game. Pettersson to Roenick. Back to Pettersson, left circle. Doesn't let it fly. Vancouver will get a change. Onto the ice. Garland to drive. Save Pickard. Rebound Pettersson. Hyman on him. He'll shovel it down low. Ekholm back to Hyman. Edmonton needs a clear, and Hyman muscles it back through center. Zadorov fires it over to Quinn Hughes. What a push by Vancouver. Connor Garland left corner. 7:50 to play. Third period. Series potentially hanging in the balance. Edmonton looking to even it. Leading 2-1. Connor Garland, right corner. This is why you love the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tremendous action. Lindholm to Dakota Joshua. One-timer and a glove save made by Pickard on a shot that appeared to be headed wide from Connor Garland. And now a bear hug on Joshua in front by Corey Perry. 7:32 to play in the third period. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1. Pulsating playoff hockey continues in just a moment at sold-out Rogers Place, downtown Edmonton, on the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV, Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Okay. Good hockey game. 2-1 Edmonton. Shots 29-19 for the Oilers, but Vancouver, a determined push here over the last 3.5 minutes. They've broken up the shutout bid for Calvin Pickard in his first Stanley Cup playoff start at age 32, coming off a 12-7-1 season.
Jack, the middle zone is wide open on the breakout. Vancouver is sealing the walls at Edmonton right now. And when you play zone D, you should be able to hit that. It's a confidence issue, and Vancouver's pushing it.
Oilers took a 2-0 lead after 2. Draisaitl in the first on a power play. He wins the faceoff to the left of his own goal. And then Nugent Hopkins with right now what would be the game winner if the game ended like this, 2-1. He scored in the final minute of the second period at even strength. Connor Garland scored for Vancouver here in the third. A clear by the Oilers through the neutral zone. Besser will kick it back to Quinn Hughes with 7 minutes to play. Hughes Suter denied entry by Brett Kulak, swung in by Evander Kane. Out to handle it is Shelovs. Holloway in on the forecheck with Kane, who got a healthy piece of Quinn Hughes. Roenick, bad pass. Icing against Vancouver as he missed Dakota Joshua. That was out of his reach. 6:48 to play in the third period. And the Oilers still with a 2-1 lead as they look to even this series and defeat Vancouver in regulation for the first time in 8 games played this year.
Well, you got an O-zone face-off against the fatigued defensive pairing for Vancouver.
So a face-off to the right of Shelovs. McDavid won the draw cleanly back to Matthias Ekholm. Sends it around the boards. McDavid tried to protect. Reversed to Garland, and he was able to nudge it through Ekholm. Chopped back the other way to Nugent Hopkins by Bouchard. Edmonton left to right in this final period. Leading 2-1 with 6.5 to go. Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins right wing over the line. Pulls up top of the circle. Checked. Stays with it. And then drilled against the end boards by Ian Cole. Snatched away from Hyman by Tyler Myers, and the Canucks have the puck, and they'll look to break out right to left. Garland, nowhere to go, and Nugent Hopkins lurking. And his outlet is Ian Cole. Melts a few more seconds, and now leading the charge will be Myers. Swept in by Niels Omon. Canucks get it in deep. Reversed by McLeod. Smart play to Nurse, and up the left-hand boards it goes. Hard rim by Zadorov. Pedersen waiting for it. McLeod a drive-by. At center ice, McLeod stayed with it. Pressure on Zadorov. Forced a bad pass to Juleson. He'll just wedge it back through center. Pedersen waits for it. The bounce eluded him and is easily cleared by Desharnais. Hits Zadorov in the back. He'll spin and send one up to Pedersen at center ice. He'll shoot toward Pickard. Kick to the corner by the Oiler goaltender. Zadorov waiting patiently at the point. Puck reversed to Nurse by Desharnais and angled out of the zone. No icing call there. Shelovs carefully hands to Zadorov and Vancouver with 5:10 remaining in regulation. Starts up the middle. Besser reaching for the puck. In after it against Cody Ceci. Miller working hard. Hughes breaks free. High slot, Roenick. Cross ice taken off the boards. A lunging Miller was able to soccer it into the corner. And now the Oilers. Cody Ceci under pressure. Stayed strong initially. Miller trying to control along the dasher boards. It's Quinn Hughes. Little spin back to Miller. Draisaitl bothers him. Creates space for Ceci to make it up the right-hand side. It didn't happen. Held in by Suter. Besser out to the point. Miller fired across. Hughes hesitates against the Vander Kane. Gives it back to Miller. And then Kane, a terrific read. Race for the puck. Shelov's and Kane. Shelov's got there first and jousted it back to center. Otherwise, Kane was going to have an empty net. What a great play by Artur Shelovs. Confidence oozing from his white, blue, and green sweater as this game has progressed. But he's right now on the short end of a 2-1 score. Besser to Hyman. McDavid after the puck just outside the trapezoid. Draped all over him, Tyler Myers. Now Hyman trying to bust through Zadorov. A collision, and Hyman still has the puck. Garland trying to burrow inside. Shot Nugent-Hopkins, steal Myers, tipped out to center ice. Less than 4 minutes to go. Bouchard, beautiful look. Nugent-Hopkins to Hyman, and it rolled off his backhand. He's back on the puck, though. Bouchard will step up. Crowded in the corner by Joshua. Nugent-Hopkins put it back behind the net. Zadorov, outreach for the puck. Coming off the bench, Brown set up by McDavid, could not thread a shot through. Got it down low for Janmark. Chris Knoblauch playing his fourth line. In a 2-1 hockey game with 3:15 to go. Garland out there, stolen by McLeod, took a vicious hit, but got it back to Desharnais, and it's tipped in by Janmark. Held on to by Shelovs, whistled up to Pettersson. Angled to the right-hand side, and it's sent in deep by the Canucks. And they're playing their fourth line. Mikheyev out there with Linus Karlsson around the boards. Ian Cole, a desperate lunge to keep the zone for now. Pettersson to Mikheyev, knocked off. Karlsson frees it up on his backhand, sends it out. Loading up his Juleson, a shot and a glove save. Calvin Pickard. Crowd explodes. 2:38 to go in the third period. Pickard 19 saves and a 2-1 lead. Edmonton 2.5 away from winning this hockey game and tying the series. We'll be back with a furious finish. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
2-1 Edmonton, 2:38 to play in Game 4. Canucks lead the series 2-1, but the Oilers lead the game 2-1 and can tie it up. Rick Tocchet is elected to pull Artur Shelovs and goes 6-on-5 right now. Draisaitl will take the draw to the left of Calvin Pickard with Nugent-Hopkins and McDavid stacked in the paint. Elias Lindholm for Vancouver. The other skaters out. Ekholm and Bouchard for Edmonton. 6-on-5. Lindholm wins the draw cleanly. Here's Quinn Hughes in the high slot. One-timer! And that was deflected to the corner. Ekholm bumped it up on the plexi. In the corner, he's trapped. He can't get it out. Nugent-Hopkins will. He scored the goal in the final minute of the second period, which is the difference right now. Besser able to tuck it deep into the offensive zone. Ekholm under heavy pressure, blasted up the left-hand boards. That'll be an icing call. And the finishing check by Dakota Joshua, because he got there quick enough, Ekholm knew he was going to have to take a hit to make a play, and he elected to make the safe one, which was take the icing. And now a face-off to Pickard's left one more time with 2:13 to play in the third. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1.
Great block by Ekholm. Canucks cleanly won the draw. Lindholm strong in the circle, 57% of his career against Draisaitl.
Draisaitl beaten off the draw by Lindholm again. Quinn Hughes gets it back. Hughes. Brock Besser. Hughes fires, redirected wide, short side. Besser hard around the boards. Miller off to Elias Pettersson. He's checked by McDavid. Lindholm to Pettersson. Nowhere to move the puck. Lindholm fires sharp angle wide. Rebound. Clatters off the boards. Besser from distance, and that's caught cleanly by Pickard. That shot was heading wide, but Pickard did not want to tip on the back door. And a minute 47 now remaining in the third period, with Edmonton leading 2-1. In case you're just joining us, and we're sorry if you did, because you've missed an exciting, tense, low-scoring game. Draisaitl power play goal midway through the first. Nugent-Hopkins even strength goal final minute of the second. And now a timeout will be taken by Edmonton as Connor Garland broke up the potential shutout bid. Oh, actually, it was Edmonton. And now this one is charged to Vancouver. But Connor Garland got Vancouver on the board with 7 minutes gone by in this third period. And it must be stated that even though the Canucks have been pressing, they've still only managed 5 actual shots on net against Calvin Pickard in the third.
They've won the last 2 faceoffs, though, and created some chaos off of that. Draisaitl in this game is 10 of 16. He's 62.5%, but he just got beat twice. For Vancouver, it was Lindholm taking those draws. He's at 58% in the circle.
Vancouver a bit of a break in the sense that the TV timeout came with 2.5 to go, so the Canucks...
Brought him an extra timeout.
Exactly. Basically are able to stay with the same 6, use their timeout with a minute 47 to go. Shilov's on the bench.
Look who's out here, right side.
Derek
draw.
Ryan taking the draw against Elias Pettersson. Nurse and Desharnais. Draisaitl and McDavid. Off the face-off. Ryan lunging, can't win it. It's Hughes to Besser. In front, redirected home! And this game is tied! Brock Besser shot it toward the net, and I believe it went off the skate of an Oiler D-man in front.
Yeah, it might have hit Darnell Nurse, Jack.
It's going to be credited to Besser, I believe. With a minute 41 to go, the Canucks have dug their way out of a 2-0 hole and tied the game. It's 2-2 with a minute 41 to play. Besser with his 8th of the playoffs, and he has murdered Edmonton this year.
They won 3 straight offensive zone draws. The third one ended up in the net for Besser.
Off the draw. Minute 40 to play up the right-hand side. Connor Garland knocked off balance at center. Eventually chipped up the left-hand side.
But think about the save Shilov's made on the Oilers' power play at 2-0.
2 of them. Puck popped out of play. Hughes and Pettersson with the helpers. And we've got a brand new game as that puck deflects out of play into the Vancouver bench area, meaning that we'll be looking at a neutral zone faceoff. Besser has scored 10 goals against the Edmonton Oilers this season. 10. This is the 8th meeting, including the regular season.
Pettersson beat Derek Ryan off that draw.
Lindholm off the draw. Lead pass right-hand side. Here's Miller. Forces a shot on net. A save made by Calvin Pickard. Puck smacked out of midair by Holloway. Minute to go here in the third. The Oilers toss it in deep. Holloway gets it to the corner. Big hit. Kane flattened Roenick. Holloway trying to hunt down the puck. Besser attempting to clear, but it's held in. And the Oilers have a chance here. Leon Draisaitl to Kane. His shot was blocked. 45 seconds to go. We're tied at 2. Draisaitl behind the Vancouver net. Send it out in front. Bouchard a shot. Score! 3-2 Edmonton. 38 seconds to play.
Well, the boost bomb again. Draisaitl and Evander Kane using the size and the strength. They force a turnover, and Leon spots Bouchard, and it went off a Sheelov's stick and ricocheted to Bouchard. Actually gave him a better shooting angle. Not sure Kane got a piece of it. And the Oilers, with 38.1 seconds left, have a 3-2 lead.
Bouchard from Draisaitl, and after being brilliant most of the night, Bouchard shot 8 up Sheelov's. His 4th of the playoffs from Draisaitl at 19:21. And you see Hughes, the Vancouver captain, immediately console Sheelov's.
And let them know, you're going right away if we get the puck here.
Face-off win. Crowd in an uproar. McDavid won the draw. Chipped in from the right-hand side by Desharnais. Deafening inside Rogers Place. Sheelov's to the bench. Here comes Quinn Hughes. Up the gut, it's poked in by Joshua. Hunting the puck down was Pettersson. He's checked by Desharnais. Behind the net. Joshua digging, raking, carving. Can't get there. Time running. 10 seconds to go. Joshua, Pettersson to the point. Hughes, 5 seconds. Over to Myers, to Garland at the horn. He fans, and Edmonton has tied the series with a 3-2 victory. Bouchard, the game winner, with 39 seconds to play.
Oh, what a crazy swing of emotion in the final minute and 41 seconds of this game.
Besser, the equalizer at 18-19, and then 62 seconds later, Bouchard, the game winner, from Draisaitl and Kane, and a best-of-7 Western Conference semifinalist down to a best-of-3.
And who else but Leon Draisaitl? He is a player in the second round last year, 6 goals in the first 2 games against the Vegas Golden Knights. The year before, Jack, 17 points in 5 games against the Calgary Flames. We played 4 games in this series, and Leon Draisaitl has 10 points. He's got multiple point games in every game. And the Edmonton Oilers have evened the series, and Evan Bouchard, who became the 3rd fastest player in NHL history to get to 40 points for a defenseman in the playoffs, gets for the 2nd Oilers victory in this series, the GWG.
Leon Draisaitl with his 8th multiple point game in his first 9 to begin a postseason. He's got the longest point streak in Oiler history since Mark Messier to begin a postseason in 1988. And he's the first player, Bob, with 8 multi-point games in his first 9 since Darryl Sittler in 1977. Just to back up your rather emphatic statements about the greatness that we are seeing night in, night out in the Stanley Cup playoffs from Leon Draisaitl. Bouchard, the game winner. And again, the top 3 scorers in the Stanley Cup playoffs all belong to Edmonton. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Bouchard. That's not amongst defensemen. Calvin Pickard at age 32, the win. 19 stops. And again, I mean, you can't really find fault with either of the 2 goals against. The second one, just an unlucky bounce in front that tied the game. But Edmonton bore down, and you wonder whether Vancouver relaxed for just a moment and thought perhaps, hey, we got a brand new hockey game. Overtime is next. Well, with a minute 40 to go and Leon Draisaitl on the ice, you're not guaranteed anything.
No, you got those two big horses out there, McDavid and Draisaitl. They can make things happen. They do it differently. Leon and his puck protection ability, the size, the frame. Kane went in and filled in Philip Hronek. You know, this is a guy that a lot of people thought was looking for $7 million a year, and he's had a tough series, frankly, so far. The Vancouver, I got to tell you right now, Noah Juleson was fine for Vancouver in the absence of Carson Soucy. He played good.
I thought Evander Kane, that's a good point by you. It created the opportunity for Draisaitl to have some time and space behind the Vancouver net to locate Bouchard in the high slot.
You know, Rick Tocchet's team, there's absolutely no quit in that team. We've seen that. And the Oilers have had to get to the desperation level of Vancouver. And they did that tonight. They deserved this hockey game. They got this hockey game. We're tied 2-2. It's now a best of 3. What a series so far. Jack, every game. Every game's been a...
Edmonton's played 6 straight one-goal games in the playoffs. Vancouver has played 8 straight. All 4 games of this series have gone to the final horn, with the game hanging in the balance. And in this sequence, you saw 2 goals in the final minute 41 of regulation. One, the equalizer, credited to Besser. And secondly, the game winner registered by Evan Bouchard. Well, a sensational game 4, and the good news is there's at least 2 more games of this series because it has been outstanding, and full marks to both teams.
Well, Artur Shilov's on that second Oilers power play. Jack, he had to have made, the Oilers could have easily scored 4 goals in that power play. That's the caliber of looks that they had. He pulled 2 pucks out of the net. He gave the, you know what, he gave the Canucks a great start tonight, and he has become a storyline. And how about Calvin Pickard? Coming in, his first NHL playoff start, he gets the victory. Is it an automatic? We see Pickard coming up on Thursday. I don't know if it is or it isn't.
I would not say it's an automatic, but what I would say is Calvin Pickard did what he did all year long, and that is no matter the opponent. This was not a 12-7-1 record fattened up with a series of victories against Anaheim, San Jose, and Chicago. This was a record, and, you know, he had some wins over those type of clubs, but he also had 2 against Eastern Conference contenders, though not playoff teams, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Jersey, and he had a win in Dallas. So, I mean, he was ready for this, and he delivered a fine performance. But I would not say with unequivocation that he's the starter on Thursday night. I don't, you know, Chris Knobloch acknowledged that even he suspected at some point in the postseason that he would be working on a 2-goaltender system, that it wasn't necessarily so that Stuart Skinner was going to go 16-4 and Edmonton steamrolls its way to the Stanley Cup. There are going to be a few bumps along the way. There's certainly been some bumps for Skinner in this series. His save percentage is below 800, and really his record against the Canucks, Bob, is 2-6. If you include the postseason, 2-6 with a save percentage of .838. So there's some compelling reasons head-to-head to go with Pickard, but I'm not so sure those mean a whole lot in the context of a Stanley Cup playoff series. Whatever we know that Pickard delivered exactly what his club needed, a quality start tonight, and he's rewarded with his first Stanley Cup playoff victory at age 32. Do we have someone joining us in our post-game show?
No, we do not. We have Brennan Escott downstairs, but we do not have anybody at this time. Not sure why that's the case. Have to wait and see.
All right, fair enough. Hopefully it's in time for your network post-game show. I'm going to go ahead and set you up for Game 5 on Thursday night. Bob and I will have it for you. 8 Mountain. We'll get you an exact puck drop time. Of course, you check your local social media channels and whatnot, and we'll be sure to lay it down for you. But we can tell you it's scheduled for an 8 Mountain start at Rogers Arena in Vancouver with this best-of-7 series now squared up at 2 games apiece. Leon Draisaitl tonight with a goal and an assist on the game winner by Evan Bouchard. A wrist shot from just inside the blue line that went through Artur Shilov's and found the back of the net for a 3-2 Edmonton victory. Shilov's gallant, but a loser with 27 saves tonight. Calvin Pickard at age 32. He waited a long time a long time. And he gets the victory with 19 stops tonight as Edmonton outshot Vancouver yet again, this time by a count of 30-21. And the Oilers now have brought this to a best of 3. We can hardly wait for the action that awaits on Thursday night in Vancouver. And so, until then, we'll step aside for now. Calvin Pickard, the second-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche 14 years ago, and Evan Bouchard, the heroes, as Edmonton ties the series with a 3-2 win in Game 4 of this Western Conference semifinal. For Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Place. Once again, your final score, Edmonton 3, Vancouver 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers post-game show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers post-game show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
45 seconds to go. We're tied at 2. Draisaitl behind the Vancouver net. Send it out front. Bouchard a shot. Score! 3-2 Edmonton. 38 seconds to play.
There you have it. That is the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the winter zone. Vancouver scored 2 goals in the third period to tie it. Brock Besser, a lucky deflection. It appeared to go in off of Darnell Nurse, but with Besser, he's a shooter. He gets his 8th to tie it with 1:41 left, but just over a minute later, Leon Draisaitl back behind the goal, spots Evan Bouchard, and that tandem, man, they've been huge in this series. They combined. Bouchard rips home his 4th. Edmonton wins it 3-2. We're tied 2-2. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822. You're tuned in to the Rogers postgame show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
And Miller this time wins the draw, churning up the left-hand side as Philip Roenick. Besser creating a 2-on-1. Reach out denied by Pickard. Rebound loose, and the Oilers able to dig it out. Clearing was Janmark.
CC's got to make a better play there, Jack.
Pickard, a terrific save, though.
That's the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance Group. Alberta oil field and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit accessInsuranceGroup.com. We bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst. This is the Rogers postgame show. Rogers, Canada's largest, most reliable 5G network. Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Home and no payments and no interest for a year. And we bring aboard Rob Brown. And Rob, give the Canucks credit. They battled back from 2-0 down. They pushed. They got a tie. And you're thinking, uh-oh. And then the Edmonton Oilers found a way tonight. Leon Draisaitl combining with Evan Bouchard.
Well, a great play at the end by Leon from behind the net. I don't know if you've seen, they keep showing on Sportsnet whether it was a high stick or not. It was close. I don't know if the NHL looked at it or not, but regardless if it was a high stick or not, great play by Ekholm keeping the puck in at the blue line. He held his ground. He used his foot to keep the puck in, because if that gets out, all of a sudden we're going into overtime. So nice play by Ekholm. Bouchard puts it on net. The goaltender, Sheloffs, couldn't see a thing. There were bodies all in front of him. The one thing I was wondering about, though, on the tying goal, the Vancouver Canucks had called a timeout. So there was a lot of time for both teams to rest. The Edmonton Oilers didn't put Ekholm out for that face-off in their own zone when eventually Besser tied the game up. I was quite surprised, practically shocked, that Ekholm and Bouchard, the Oilers' best two defensemen, weren't on after a timeout. And eventually it cost them as the puck found the back of the net, I think off of Darnell Nurse. But again, the Edmonton Oilers make things interesting. But when you have Connor and Leon split up, in the last, I don't know, whatever time was left in the game, both Connor's line, then Leon's line got a chance in the last minute, and you're under stress. And the Vancouver Canucks were under stress. Kane, a good hit. Ekholm, a good keep-in. Leon, fantastic vision. And then Evan Bouchard just continues a magical season.
He does. Thoughts on Pickard?
He was good. I mean, really good. The Oilers were the better team through the first 40 minutes, but there were breakdowns. There were opportunities for the Canucks. There was an 8 or 9 minute stretch in the second period where they were the better team. There's a couple odd man breaks. Besser had the puck on his stick. I thought he looked calm. I thought he looked very confident. I know that you...
Does he start next game?
I start him.
Absolutely. He won.
He won. Your other goaltender's got a .730 save percentage. And as you and Jack said, he's 2-6. Is it on the season against the Canucks?
In his career.
Yeah. Oh, well, Pickard came in and won. To me, you go with the hot goalie. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, me and Strudwick have been arguing about this. I say if Pickard wins tonight, he automatically gets the game. And he played well. So it's not like he won a 6-5 game. So to me, Calvin Pickard starts on Thursday, but I'm not making that call.
All right. There are some guys that got to play better. I thought Ceci was really passive. And the middle of the ice is there. They're sealing the walls because they don't think the Oilers are comfortable in the Zone D. Part of playing Zone D is knowing where everybody is, Rob, when you get the puck. And Vancouver's sealing the walls. The middle of the ice is wide open for Edmonton on transitions. Now, it takes courage because if you don't hit the pass, right?
Yeah, you look dumb, but
Rob, in the final 9 minutes of that game, we kept on seeing a situation where the Edmonton Oilers kept on playing it up the boards, and their defensemen were pinching, and they were get inside positioning on the Oilers. The middle of the ice was wide open on transition, wide open.
It was, but again, you'll have coaches telling you in the last 9 minutes of the game, just throw it up the board. We'll fight on the boards, and we'll battle there. We saw Fogle try to go up the middle last game. It didn't turn out well. So,
but that's a forward. I'm talking about a defenseman.
I agree, but I'm sure that the coaching staff will tell them if you don't feel 100% go up the boards, we'll be fine with it. I do think that Cody Ceci had a rough one tonight.
He did.
There were a number of
He got bailed out by Kulak multiple times.
Yeah, and bailed out by Calvin Pickard. Again, I thought the third line again for the Oilers was a little quiet. I liked Ryan and Janmark. I like what they did in their shifts. The Oilers power play got it done early. It was a good game.
The guy played great in their end of it could have been 4-0.
Well, he made the saves on the Oilers power play in the third period they had the power play, that he made about 4 saves on that power play. Would have put the game out of reach, and he made the saves that he needed. He gave the team some life, and the Canucks are good. This series, I know that it's funny, every time the Oilers win, we're going to win the rest of the series, we're going to win every game. Every time the Oilers lose, it's, oh no, we can't beat the Canucks. It is going to be a tough slug in Game 5.
100%.
And to me, that's why I go with Calvin Pickard, because he's the guy that just gave you the boost that you needed on home ice.
Great stuff, Rob.
Sounds good, Bob.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run. Or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains, so you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Smart Play of the Night is brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. And Evander Kane and Leon Draisaitl combined to gain puck possession. Final 45 seconds of this game set up Evan Bouchard for the eventual game-winning goal. Edmonton wins 3-2. Out-of-town scoreboard, Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Boston stays alive. They win 2-1, Game 5 in Florida, down 3-1 in that series. It's now 3-2 for Florida, back to Boston for Game 6. Meanwhile, the Rangers won their first 7 playoff games. They were up 3-0 on Carolina. Carolina's won 2 straight. It's 3-2 Rangers in the series. Game 6 in Carolina tomorrow night. Colorado, Valeri Nichushkin for the second consecutive year due to personal reasons, this time going into Stage 3 of the NHL's program. 6 months he will be away from the team. Huge loss, and their team played like it last night. They lost at home 4-1. They're down 3-1 to the Dallas Stars, who built a great team with Jim Nell. Game 5 tomorrow in Dallas. Here, well, it's this simple. The Edmonton Oilers, after giving up a goal in the final 2 minutes to Brock Besser, bit of a lucky deflection for Vancouver, Evan Bouchard wins it. Second game winner of the series. His 4th goal. He leads all NHL defensemen in playoff scoring for 2 consecutive years. Oilers beat the Canucks 3-2. We're going to Game 5 back in Vancouver. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College and supported distance learning. NLC knows that students need attention, support, and the synergy between instructors and peers to keep motivated and connected. They are here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Because at Northern Lakes College, they count their success one student at a time. northernlakescollege.ca.
Let's go to Molson Cup 3 Stars presented by Molson Canadian. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight. Connor Garland with the goal tonight. Second star. The Edmonton Oilers, Calvin Pickard, getting a win in his first NHL playoff start. And tonight's first star, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, picked up a goal in tonight's game. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. We are tied 2-2 in the series, Game 5, 8 o'clock on Thursday night in the Oilers Radio Network. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michelson with the call of all of our playoff action. Cam Moon called 6 and 5 of our regular season games. Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers Kellen Kennedy and Angie Quinnell. Kellen at the helm tonight, and Troy Bowler, our engineer. Bob Stopper signing off from Edmonton. The Oilers have tied the series 2-2. Bouchard with a winner in the final 40 seconds.
The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra, X.